I was just about to say, how's everybody's week going? But
yeah. How about you guys? Any small things?
Since we last potted, my daughter started laughing, which is cool. She had her first little giggles.
Nice.
And my wife and I were both in the room to witness it. I was playing with the dog, and the dog started barking at me. And then my daughter, laying in her crib, just started giggling. And my wife and I both like snapped and looked at each other. We're like, is that a laugh? And we both go over to her, and she's just sitting there on her back giggling. And my wife just starts crying. She's like, "Oh my god,
that's your first kid, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then she took out the camera and proceeded to record like 20 minutes.
That's awesome.
Of her just laughing. She kept like tickling her stomach, and she'd laugh more. And that was on maybe Thursday or something like that. And she hasn't laughed since. And I'm like, God, no, I guess it wasn't Thursday. Maybe it was Sunday. And she hasn't laughed since. And every day we're like, come on, do it again, do it again. And it's not happening. I'm like, she just gave us a preview.
You're going to savor the flavor.
She's going to wait until you guys are having the worst day ever. And then she's going to do it. And
I know, but I want her to do it like all day long. Yeah. But I just rewatched the video like multiple times a day.
There you go. Keep yourself in a happy place.
So that's exciting. Yeah. What about you, Steve?
Congrats.
Any jail this week?
I'm trying to think of like everything that I've been. Oh my god, I literally did like, but you know how we did our thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that was like one of 3 different projects that I worked on that day. The day before, yeah, the day before I had 3 other projects, and this is like podcast 7 in 3 days. It's a lot, a lot of different things. Just some audio, just recording, just audio and editing audio, and then switching and doing like different things with video and whatnot, and trying to move this file here and be here for that. The whole set was like different, like before you guys got here, because we were gonna do the love show and they canceled, unfortunately. But I mean, just finding ways to flip this shit is just nuts, and it's been really cool because I've been putting myself in some in really decent rooms. I definitely like the rooms the rooms that we're in, bro.
Right.
You know, it's just the shit you see around there.
Right.
It's just it's different, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Different's good.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah, I feel like
don't feel stale no more.
No, I know we're on the cusp of something really great. So I'm ready to ride the ride.
Just for the record, you hear how much work he's putting in. This man, the Panel Network. You got to subscribe to the Panel Network. Don't forget to subscribe, like it
for free.
Panel Network.
And we're like and subscribe and all that good stuff. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever you can find a podcast. I put up the money. We are now there. It's a very refreshing thing, but it's a lot of work. So
can I say something about the podcast?
Yeah.
I mentioned that I was on this podcast. This is this guy I met for the first time on Halloween. I ran into him at the bar the other day. And he was like, I've been watching the panel. Oh my gosh, you guys have been killing it. I was like,
that's awesome.
Stop.
That's awesome.
I was like, you're watching us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, well, you mentioned it. And I was like, well, now I got to go check it out. And he's like, and you guys have been doing so good. He's like, I like your guys', obviously I like your entertainment, but he's like, I like your sneaker.
Nice. There you go, the sneaker panel. Hell yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to remember to bring that up because that made my day that day. So
that's awesome.
I knew that like we pay attention to you guys. So when you guys watch and you guys see us and you mention it, just know that we appreciate it.
Throw shit in the comments, please. You know, throw shit in the comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do check them. I try to reply if it's something,
But we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Entertainment Panel. I am your host, Swell. You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Joey Donuts.
What up? I'm Hackers Prime.
I'm Ariel, but according to the kids I was teaching this week, I'm Miss Mermaid. So
Miss Mermaid.
I'm Miss Mermaid now, so you guys can Ariel, comment that. It's great. But yeah, I'm Ariel. You can get me on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or all of the above. I'm always there. And I am starting a YouTube, but not to like post stuff, but just so I can comment and do stuff. So I'm trying to get on all platforms.
I forgot I should probably give myself proper introduction. My bad. Yeah, Hackers Prime. You can find me on YouTube. Follow me on the journey of broken to broken. I went through a nasty accident, broke a bunch of organs, bones, all etc. Month-long coma. Trying to get myself to be strong. I want to do an amateur strongman competition. Follow my journey. Check me out.
Awesome. I'm in a weird spot. I have 2 friends arguing right now, and they put me in the middle.
That's in the middle. The worst.
Through text?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Bruh.
Tell
stupid.
Tell them to hold off. You're podding right now.
Right.
You know what's
We're
really
podding,
weird?
bro.
None of these texts are coming through. You guys are going to have to try in a couple hours right now, though. The Wi-Fi is kind of bad.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started. We'd like to send unfortunately, we got to start on a sad note.
Some weird stuff.
No, we're not. It's not
sad. It's just sad and weird.
The nigga was 95.
It's eerie.
Yeah, but his wife was 64.
Okay, let's tell the audience.
His dog was significantly younger.
Let's tell the audience what we're talking about, because now we have people who are not viewing; they're just listening.
Gene Hackman.
Okay, what about
his whole family?
What about him?
Dead.
Right.
DED.
Dead.
Give me the details.
So he's 95.
Mm-hmm.
There was a maintenance man who was at their house, and the maintenance man hadn't been there in 2 weeks or hadn't seen them in 2 weeks, and he wasn't getting a response at the house, and he saw a dead body through the window, and so he called the police, and the police came. No, so the police came, and they found Gene Hackman, 95, dead. Just like in clothes and sunglasses on the ground, like as if he had suddenly fallen. It wasn't like he died in his bed at his age. I mean, he is 95, could have been natural causes, but he didn't like lay down and die. He just fell.
Right.
Then they found his wife, who's 64. She was dead in the bathroom, laying down with a whole bunch of prescription pills on the counter. Then they found one of their dogs dead in the closet.
It was one of three, right?
One of 3 dogs dead in the closet. Apparently, the closet door was open. Initially, I had heard it was closed, and I'm like, "That's weird. Why would a dog be locked in the closet and die?" But it doesn't say closed.
Where was he at?
They were in different rooms. I don't know how far away they were in terms of in the house, but the dog was near the wife.
They were all in rooms, though. Like nobody was outside.
No, this was all in the house.
Okay.
And then the 2 other dogs survived. It said they were on the property, which I'm guessing means outside, but the investigators just said 2 other dogs were alive on the property.
I'm assuming the dog probably ate some of the pills and died from that.
Yes. So they also said no foul play suspected. They couldn't figure out, like nobody looked like they had been bludgeoned, hit, shot, strangled, nothing like that. But also they didn't find any signs of gas leaks or CO leaks.
That was my question. I was like, I wonder if there was carbon monoxide, but
no carbon monoxide that they found, no gas leaks that they found. Just really weird. So I'm wondering, some people were thinking that maybe Gene Hackman died. Like maybe he just fell and died. And then maybe his wife was just distraught. And so she took a bunch of pills to kill herself. And then the pills laid on the counter and the dog jumped up, or maybe a couple fell down and the dog ate a couple pills and the dog died.
Was she a Gemini?
Oh my God.
Not sure when she was born.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Too soon.
Not sure when she was born, but that's what I think. That sounds like maybe the most plausible thing, except for the fact that he fell. I guess he could have had a heart attack, but
he's old.
Yeah.
When are we gonna just?
He was face down.
I don't know.
It was his time.
I feel like
face down, ass up.
That's the way I like to OD.
Gene Hackman face down, ass up, ready to go.
My bad, man.
The reason I ask is, like, if he were to have attempted death on his own, like the way she did, he wouldn't have done it in a way that would make him fall forward. He probably would have been sitting down. I feel like if something would have happened, they would have died together versus apart. So I'm assuming he probably passed away. And us women, we're very emotional. We love our men sometimes. And like when if that were to have happened to me, I feel like I understand. But
you
also
think
the
maybe
dogs.
she died of a broken heart?
Yeah, low key. Also the dogs.
Prescription
though.
pills, like laying out.
I was gonna say, like,
when you're old, you just have pills around.
Or no,
is
like,
that a thing?
I
You
feel
just get
like,
prescribed pills.
You just get.
but also when you have dogs, I feel like you don't do that.
yeah, especially if the dogs like weren't taken care of. I don't know. Like, I just feel like I understand if she were to react that way, but I also feel like when you have tiny dogs like that, like you make sure that they're not.
Why would she not have called the cops?
What was that?
Why would she not have called the cops?
That's true.
Why would her first reaction be like, "Let me go OD"?
Right.
Well, because then she might have been put in a home, or like who knows?
What is 64?
Yeah.
What does carbon monoxide is?
Yeah, carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
What does that do to you, to your body?
That's the opposite of oxygen.
I don't know.
I think it makes you loopy. Yeah.
So it makes you loopy. You get lethargic. It could be a situation where she thought maybe she was having some type of medical issue where she got her pills and she took them out and she was looking through her pills to see which one she needs to take, and then she just passed away. She was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm gonna lay down right here. The dog was like, fuck. I'm just tired.
Well,
Just went into a spot and went to sleep.
Signs are probably no one was expecting their deaths, including them. So that's what.
And he lived mad long too. So
yeah, 95.
Like how it was gonna happen?
Man, I'd be upset. 5 years short.
Of a hundo?
Upset. Man, I want that coin.
I don't know if I want to see all that.
I want to.
It said they found a. So his wife was found laying near the side, or laying on her side. Sorry, laying on her side on the bathroom floor with a space heater near her head. The deputy who found her said he suspected that the heater could have fallen and hit her on the head. Or no, I'm sorry, could have fallen with her. I guess like maybe she grabbed it and knocked it over as she was falling or something.
Yeah, I also another reason is if you're gonna take a bunch of pills to try to like better, why are you gonna do it in the bathroom?
Wouldn't you take the pills and then like lay down or sit down,
or like be by your husband,
or be by him and hold his hand or something?
But if it's carbon monoxide, then you're not thinking straight. And you're like, you're just
if it
like,
was, but they're saying so far no signs of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said no signs of carbon monoxide or gas leak.
Maybe
then they're just fucking old, bro.
But also their bodies were showing signs of decomposing, their mummification on both their hands and feet. So I don't know if the carbon monoxide passes, you know what I mean? Like eventually if it dissipates, like dissipates out and then it's non-detectable. So after 2 weeks, is it still going to be as strong? I don't know.
But it would have still been coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you don't, it's not like something that it's not like a fucking fart.
Starts
you know?
to stop.
Okay, conspiracy
Yeah,
though, like who would have something against this couple, right? Like that would like try to carbon monoxide them, right? Like reality is probably like he probably died and she.
I don't know. That's just a weird way.
It's just very weird.
It's just a weird setup for her specifically.
I mean, there's been.
You think he owed somebody money?
Nah.
You think the whole Jay Leno shit? Jay Leno's people came after him?
There's been a lot of weird things happen in the news lately that like just aren't adding up. I mean, some of the deaths, like.
Well, so
another one, right?
Yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah, 39.
39.
Very young. A childhood crush.
Oh my god.
Nah, Georgina be
from what? Harriet the
Georgina be up
Spy
some
or
shady shit.
Euro
though.
Trip?
All of it, man. I grew up watching her. You know what I mean? Like she was 5 years older than me.
And
like,
then she was in a Euro Trip. And then
Buffy the Vampire
changed.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Right.
Gossip Girl. Yeah.
Inspector Gadget.
Me some Gossip Girl.
But hers was a medical ailment, right?
They don't know for sure. They said, God, I just read something about it where it
she
says
had a liver
issue. Yeah.
Yeah. So she had a liver transplant within the past year. So the initial thing was they assume it was her body rejected it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what I just read earlier today said they are like suspicious of her cause or something.
Like it might be
undetermined is what they said.
Georgina
it's undetermined.
in Gossip Girl was always up to some shady shit. So who
shit.
knows?
The past comes back to haunt.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about characters being similar, like Serena.
No, that's sus.
From Gossip Girl, Blake Lively was really closely related. Like she's just like her character. So maybe Georgina. No, I'm just kidding. No, like this is actually really sad though.
No, listen. See, he just said the family denied the autopsy.
They declined autopsy on her.
That's crazy talk.
Why?
Right.
She's rich. So
it says it's been ruled undetermined because the family declined an autopsy. Because her death was not deemed suspicious by law enforcement, the medical examiner's office honored that request.
You guys need to have written down a power of attorney, but for your medical stuff. You guys
like if you go.
Yeah, you need to have one because.
Well, I'm pretty sure she did. I mean, she knew that the possibility when she went into the initial surgery that she could have not came back from that.
Right. But
so I'm sure that she already had something set up like that.
Maybe. But
and maybe that was her choice to say, hey, if I go, I don't want nobody knowing shit about what happened to me.
Yeah.
It's none of their business. I mean, she kind of did withdraw herself from the media anyway.
Yeah, like you didn't see her at all.
Yeah, because when she started going through that stuff.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Are there dogs out there eating each other?
I understand. Can I ask you guys a question?
Is there dog fighting going on next door? Is Michael Vick in this neighborhood?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like, so how do you deal? Like, do you guys have dogs that go crazy in your neighborhood?
Yes. Well, okay, my dog is the crazy
barking.
one.
Those were high pitched.
No.
Well,
That's
there's a dog across the field, right? And that dog just barks all the fucking time.
It's giving small dog, big dog energy. You know what I mean?
But there's another dog that lives over there, and they let that dog just run out. So when that dog just runs out, he runs through the whole neighborhood, and then he fucks with that little dog. So they go at it.
Well,
and
small dogs are really protected.
And then there's a big dog in the same space, but the big dog is on, like, their owner comes out on and has him on the leash because it's a big dog. Dog is bigger than me, right?
Yeah.
So like what the fuck? Like, can you leave your dog out like that? That dog's outside.
Not legally.
That dog's outside all the time. Would I be?
If it's chained up, yeah, you can.
I don't think it is.
He's saying it
can't
runs
be
all the way
loose.
over here.
Well, the one from the one from the north.
From the north.
Yeah, that one is never. That one just runs out. The one on the south side over here, it stays in the yard because it's a really big yard. It's a field, but I don't think he's chained up either. Would I be a piece of shit if I called?
Yes.
Animal control or whatever.
And just get their dog
You
taken away?
need to mind your business.
Listen.
Boy, mind your business.
Listen.
Am I Karen?
Huh?
Is it a small dog?
Yeah.
Look, you
If
better.
it's a small dog, I wouldn't worry about it.
You
I'm
do
trying
that.
to
We're
run
gonna
a
have to cut
fucking
your dreads
business here.
off.
Here's my thing.
I wouldn't worry about a small dog.
Yeah.
Cut my dress.
It's
If it's a
small
dog that can
dog.
fuck you up, or if it's a dog that's going to eat your own dog, then yeah, I would say something.
But I have a small dog, and he can jump over my fence where I live,
Mhm.
and it pisses me off because this fence is as high as I am. So I'm like, and he can jump to my shoulder.
Yeah, Jack Russell Terrier.
But no, a half Chihuahua, half Poodle. He's a tiny little 5-pound thing, and he can jump over the fence.
Nice.
And it drives me crazy because I have to chase him down in the snow and drag him inside. And he runs to where the big dogs are, and he barks just like that.
I'm not
He's
trying
like,
to deal with that.
"You're outside, and you're too close to my mother. I have to bark." And I understand, but it's also like I take precautions. I have to go outside with him and watch him. So like, don't let your dog run loose, but also. Like, I understand you can't control small dogs. They have a mind of their own.
Together.
So
my dog
that's
is a
hot take.
pretty little princess, and she does not want to be outside. She will put her paws just as far into the grass as she needs to go to the bathroom, then she runs back in.
Dude,
My dog-
She just wants to be on the couch.
The Michael Vick comment, okay? I used to have a 100-pound shepherd, all black, right? His name was Haku. So hold on a second. Haku dog. But one year for Halloween, I had found a Michael Vick jersey at the thrift shop, and it was the Falcon jersey with the 7 on it. Oh, dude, he was sporting that thing all October,
geez.
bro.
Oh, my God.
He was a black dog wearing that Michael Vick jersey, and I still got that jersey hung up with his leash. He passed away a couple years ago, but dude, one of the best memories ever while having him walk around with that Michael Vick jersey on. Black dog.
Scaring all the other dogs.
Oh, it was great.
My dog-
What kind of dog?
Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
I used to have a
100-pound
German
shepherd.
too.
I have a conscious fear of getting pulled, like getting my hair pulled, like someone pulling out my dreads.
We have opposite opinions on getting our hair pulled. I'm not gonna lie.
Or like those
Last piece.
like those
Can't
movies where
relate.
like their hair gets caught and you see their scalp peeling
Oh
back.
God, bro.
On to the next topic.
I'm gonna have to admit that this is a piece one day. Oscars is coming up this Sunday. Conan O'Brien is hosting. Are you guys interested in seeing Conan O'Brien host?
Yes.
Definitely.
I like Conan. He's cool.
Yep.
And the Oscars.
Yeah, I watch the Oscars every year. Sometimes I have a little get together.
I have-
friends over to watch it.
I haven't watched the Oscars in years, but Conan hosting, yeah, I want to check it out.
Yeah, I watch the Oscars and I watch the Emmys. So
Is Conan a liberal?
Watch. He's. I mean, yes, but he really doesn't get into politics very
Yeah, I was
much.
gonna say that's kind of why I like him. He just kind of
Yeah,
standoffish.
in his show that he had on TBS, he was probably like the least political out of all the late night shows. And then on his podcast, he doesn't get into it too much. He tries to stay in the middle. But I mean, yes, you can tell yes, but he doesn't make it a thing.
Did you guys see what's his face slam his hand down while he was talking about politics or whatever? Who's the other one that does the late night show?
Jimmy Fallon,
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel.
No, the one that he did a show and then he moved on and Trevor Noah took a show.
Oh, Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Well,
slammed,
that whole show is politics. I mean,
yeah. He slammed his hand down, cut his hand wide open.
Oh, when he shattered the mug.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I saw a clip of him shattering the mug, but I didn't like watch that.
Yeah, his
clip.
hand
So
was
he
like
broke. He
bleeding.
what?
really.
Like, he was like, I gotta.
I assumed that was like a prop mug, like
No,
a sugar mug.
No, he was like, I gotta go to the hospital.
Wicked being,
That's funny.
you guys know I have a hot take on Wicked, but Wicked being like nominated for the Oscars.
Because you weren't a big fan of it, right?
Yeah.
But was that because you had seen the play and you're comparing it to the play?
No, just in general.
What is
I
the
didn't like
criteria
movie.
for an
Oscar?
Oscar?
There's a voting body. I don't know of how many people. But
Dune Part 2 was also
now, actually, the voting body has actually been in a little bit of controversy this past week or so, because I don't know exactly if all the names are public or whatever, or exactly how they get these people. Like, I assume it's film critics and it's a varied group of people. I would assume. I should have looked that up. But some of them said they didn't vote for, who is the Ray Fiennes, he played Voldemort, but the movie that he is nominated for is Conclave. He's nominated for Best Actor. And a couple of the writers said they didn't vote for him for Best Actor because he already won an Oscar. And that's not true. He never won an Oscar. They thought he won an Oscar for Schindler's List back in the 90s, but he didn't. And then some other writers said they didn't vote for Dune for Best Picture because they didn't want to watch it. They're like, I didn't like the first one. I'm not going to waste 3 hours watching this movie. So people are like, how can you be a voter and you're not even willing to even watch these movies?
Was it an overwhelming amount of people who were feeling that way? Didn't do it, or just like
it sounded like a few that admitted it. Maybe
how many voters are there?
I don't know. Let me see how many people vote for this.
And it's just for movies, right? Oscars
is just movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised Nora is recommended.
Yeah, so I watched that one last night, and I was going to talk about that. So it looks like 9,905 people are eligible to vote. So almost 10,000 people are voted. They are invited by their peers. Membership is divided into branches representing of filmmaking disciplines such as acting, directing, cinematography. So they do have a group of, because obviously some of the awards are based on cinematography and
if
directing.
It's 9,000, I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean 10,000 people, but those are just the people who willingly said it. You know, like, I didn't watch the movie. I don't want to watch that. How many other people feel the same way and just didn't get asked or whatever? You know,
I'm sure it wouldn't be like a overwhelming.
Well, I mean, it's probably not just that movie either. Wouldn't it be? All the movies that are there.
There's
sure not everybody watched
a lot of shit on there, and I'm probably not going to want to.
So people have been saying like there needs to be some sort of criteria, or like these people need to at least pass some sort of like comprehension test, like ask questions about the movie to see if they watched it. You know what I'm saying? Like something where like. Yeah, okay, answer these 3 questions about the Dune movie. And if you can answer them, then we can assume you watched it, and now you know what I'm saying? Like, or they should rotate these people out
just every 10 years.
I think that they're very specific.
How many years has the Oscars been going on?
I think they're very
like 80.
selective and specific with the movies they're choosing for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not what's best or what should be nominated. It's what's going to be most talked about, or what criteria are we trying to meet this year?
I mean, I understand, and I get that the system can be flawed, because quite honestly, when it comes to like Grammys are selected by the labels. Mm-hmm. Like the labels have a say,
and I'm sure
in who wins that.
I'm sure the production companies of movies, I'm sure they have a say in it too.
Yeah,
and
it's all payola.
And people talk about how like, so the Oscars is like the culmination. It's the big one that everyone talks about, but there's like the Golden Globes, there's like SAG Awards, there's all these other
those different
that
ones
lead up to the Oscars, and a lot of times you can figure out who's going to win the Oscars based on who's winning the other ones, because a lot of them fall in line. But then also, like, you know, you have to be an actor who's well liked, because if people don't like you, they're not going to nominate you. So like, you kind of have to play this game. You have to make sure you do the PR you need to do. You have to be likable. Like, there's other things involved than just best actor. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's no matter what award show, for no matter what it is, there's going to be some amount of like politicking that goes on, even with sports awards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you like in baseball, because I know baseball the most, is you have 2 writers from each chapter across the country. So if there's 30 teams, well, there's not 30 cities though, because there's some teams that have 2 teams, but every city gets like 2 representatives. But they're going to vote for their own hometown players, and they're going to vote against rivals. So there's always going to be some biases.
Yeah, I get.
It's hard to
put it that way. It's hard to rule it out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move on to some of the shit that we've been watching.
We gonna talk about any of the movies up for Oscars?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, take it away.
Ooh,
so
cut this man off.
So the movie this week I've been trying to watch a lot of these movies that are nominated, just to kind of have an idea. So when I watch the show Sunday, I can like
can agree or not agree,
or I can be like, that's bullshit, and I can fire off my mean tweets about it.
Yes.
So I watched Anora last night. It sounds like, Ariel, you saw Anora?
Yeah.
Did anybody else see Anora?
No.
And I'd never even heard of it till 2 nights ago when I saw that list of movies to watch and they're nominated. I'm like, I'll watch it. What did you think of it? Because I have no idea what to think of it.
Okay, I really like the actress.
Okay.
Like in general. So anytime she's in something, I make sure to watch it. That's how I am with
She's been in other stuff?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
She's really talented, so you guys should check her out. But it was one of those movies where I was like, okay. Like, you know, like I don't know how else to put it, where I was like, it wasn't what I was expecting it to be.
No, it wasn't what I was expecting. So I thought it was going to be more of a thriller.
Yeah.
And just to set up the movie for you guys or the audience who didn't see it without spoiling it. So the movie is about I guess it starts off at a strip club, and this Russian kid comes in, and is that how it starts? He goes into the strip club and then he sees her and then he pays for dance. I don't remember how they actually meet.
I watched this movie like probably a couple months ago.
I literally watched it 2 days ago, and I don't remember how they meet. But basically, this Russian kid who's like in his early 20s falls in love with this stripper who's an American, and he has a house, or his parents, extremely wealthy Russian oligarchs, have a house in wherever town this takes place, and I don't even know where it takes place, but super nice house, and he's staying there for a couple of weeks, and he starts having her come over to the house to like pay for sex because he likes her so much. He's like, come over to the house. She's like, okay, fine. So he starts paying her for sex, and then eventually he's just like, oh, just hang out with me. And so then she's like, okay, but you got to pay me like $5,000 and I'll be your girlfriend for the week, or $15,000. And he's like, oh yeah, that's fine, whatever. So he pays her $15,000, and then he really starts to like her, and then their week is like almost ending. They only have a couple days left, and he's like, marry me. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, no, marry me. And she's like, okay, sure. If you buy me a big fucking ring, I'll marry you. He's like, okay, 6 carats. And she's like, okay. So he buys her this ring. They go to Vegas. They get married. Then word gets back to his parents. His parents freak the fuck out. And that's like the conflict of the movie, is his parents being like, you can't fucking marry my son. It is a comedy. So it is pretty funny because there's his Russian like bodyguards or whatever, because the kid's like early 20s. Russian like bodyguards that are there supposed to watch over him and keep him safe. Like they're kind of idiots, and they're constantly fighting with her, and she's from Brooklyn, and so she's just like MFing these guys the whole time. And it's a pretty funny movie, but there's a lot of sex in it. And then the end of them, like this actress, that's why I didn't know this actress had been in other stuff, because she's full frontal sex in so much of this movie.
I was just saying, let me give you guys a couple different movies she's been in. She's in Scream. Did you guys?
Oh, really?
The first one?
Scream, the 2022 one.
Oh, okay.
She plays like one of the best friends, and she ends up being the killer in it. And the newer one.
Man, wow.
And here's how it ends.
Well, y'all, it's a 2022 movie. Who hasn't seen the recent Scream, right?
Just like, Scream and move on.
Hey, here's
sorry.
the plot.
Okay, well, she's in multiple of the Screams, okay? She's also in Addams Family. What are some more popular ones that she's in?
Just kidding.
Sorry.
But
anyway, the point is, it's like a Cinderella story, but for adults. it's
Cinderella with fucking.
it was.
I want to say,
Yeah.
I want to say I like it, but I also like there was some areas where I was like, I wouldn't have chose to go that direction, but I understand why they did. So I think it's worth the watch.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
I understand why it's nominated.
I don't.
I'm surprised it's nominated.
Yeah,
but I don't. But like I understand why. So that's all I can say on the topic.
I'm trying to think of what movies I went. Was Baby Girl nominated for anything?
No.
Nope.
So the other nominees for Best Picture, I'm not going to obviously go through all the categories.
I loved Baby Girl.
But
Baby Girl.
The Brutalist is nominated, and I do want to try to watch that before Sunday. But it's like almost 4 hours long,
Oh my
and it's
God.
like post-Holocaust, like heavy type of movie.
Is it like the movie about the bomb?
No. This is after the Holocaust.
No, I mean like kind of that mood. Because that movie was like,
I don't know. I didn't.
that movie was heavy.
I just heard that this movie is like, heavy, and it's like emotional, and it's Adrian Brody survives the Holocaust, and he goes on to become like a salesman for something, and then he gets hot. Oh, he's an architect. That's right.
Who is Adrian Brody?
He was in The Pianist. I think he won an Oscar.
Oh, this isn't the same dude who was in what's that movie about the bomb? Oh, Oppenheimer.
No, that was Cillian Murphy.
It's the same guy.
That's
Can I
not
say
even
something
close.
crazy?
Say your craziest.
Honora means honor. And so I just think that's funny.
Really? Yeah, she's literally a dancer
Yeah. I just
who
think
becomes
that's
a
funny.
prostitute, I guess, because he pays her.
Yeah.
So The Brutalist I want to watch, but we'll see. It's also in black and white and it's super long. So my wife is not jazzed about watching this movie.
I want to talk a little bit about the actor in leading roles.
A Complete Unknown. We saw the Bob Dylan movie.
Oh, that movie was trash.
I don't know why that's nominated either. It was fine. Conclave. I understand why it was nominated. Conclave is pretty good. I think it's on Hulu maybe. Ray Fiennes is the lead in that. It's about them selecting new pope. It's slow at times because it's a quiet. It's just people talking. There's no action.
Pope. By the way,
but it's got a wild twist at the end.
Speaking of the Pope, RFK Jr., aka
Do you want to get some worms in my brain? Eat it my brain. I remember the first time that I had Taco Bell.
Yeah.
AKA when I had food poisoning, I sounded like, when I had food poisoning, I threw up a bunch, lost my voice, and sounded like RFK for like 3 days.
I didn't realize.
What were you gonna say about him?
He said and posted on social media, mind you, he works for the fucking government now.
Nothing surprises me. Keep going.
He said that Pope Francis died like 3 days ago and that they're going to announce his death on March 3rd.
Oh, he's a prophet now.
Yeah, well, he's saying that they're hiding it.
Interesting.
And that he's already dead.
You know what? I like that he said March 3rd though, because we'll find out very soon.
I think
we'll find out Monday.
Here, let me see. RFK Pope.
Maybe the worms posted it. Maybe it wasn't actually him.
I didn't realize how spot on of an impression that was until I heard that dude talk.
It's so easy for everyone to do it. It's the easiest impression though. You think like that you're not good at impressions, but if you try it, you'll nail it.
I'm sure.
I want to talk about a couple more things about things that were nominated. For example, Ariana Grande being nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I was like, whoa, that's they're co-stars. That's kind of
because was the other one not, or was she the lead actress?
They're technically like both main actresses, but they're putting Ariana under the supporting role, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, but I would say that between the two, the other one would be the lead actress. Plus, the movies have to submit, like they have to submit. This is who we want in this category, so it's the movie doing it, not the voters. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, also under animated films, Inside Out 2 is is nominated.
That was very good.
Yeah, and I think that's going to
win.
win.
I did like that one a lot.
But
that
The Wild Robot is also nominated.
Oh, that movie I haven't seen yet, but I've heard amazing things about The Wild Robot.
So I'm interested to see
who's
going to win.
It's a kid's cartoon, but I've heard adults say it's amazing.
I haven't heard of that one. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. It's about a robot that ends up in the woods, and he ends up living with like the woodland animals, and they like teach him, I think, how to be an animal or something. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a really good movie, but I haven't seen it yet.
Gladiator.
I don't know.
Gladiator 2 is nominated for costume design.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm like, they're going to win that.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't win that, I'll be really surprised. But Wicked's also nominated for that. So I'm also like...
Okay, it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah. And I was just looking over the other nominations, and those are what was sticking out to
Other
me.
Best Picture nominations, the rest of them are Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, which I do want to watch, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm Still Here, which I don't even know what that is. Nickel Boys, have not seen that one yet. Wicked is nominated, and then The Substance, which is a horror movie. So for a horror movie to be nominated as Best Picture is pretty rare.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Do you think Wicked's gonna win in the music original score column?
What's it up against?
Well, The Wild Robot, Amelia Perez, Conclave, and The Brutalist.
Then yes, it's got to, right? It's a musical.
Yeah, but
it's got to.
Doesn't it have to win the best music? Original music?
Maybe, I don't know.
It better, or they.
It's not.
That's so weird.
It's not based off of their own original music, though. You know, it's based off of something else.
Wow.
It's based off the music that was already existing. Yeah, they added to it, but the songs are still the same. So if they win that, I feel like that's cheating.
But if you change it 10%, you can call it your own.
Right, but
in the artistic community.
But to take away from another film's original music and give it to them, I feel like I would be offended if they won. But that's just me.
But what about all the people who sampled other music?
Yeah, true.
But what about the people who had original music and are nominated and lose to someone?
But this isn't a Grammy though. This is still them performing the music.
Yeah, that's the part.
Fair. And then for original screenplay writing, Anora The Brutalist, The Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. I have no idea.
Oh, September 5th. Yes, I'm actually in the middle of watching that. I'm almost done.
Is it good?
I do like it a lot. It's a so I like true stories. It's a true story about the 1972 Munich Olympics. And this is the first time Germany has hosted the Olympics since the Holocaust. And
they're gone. They're all gone.
And this is also the first Olympics that's ever been done like live footage. You know what I mean? Like they're doing those games live. Every other time had been pre-recorded. So all of a sudden they hear shots fired and they're like, and this is like middle of the night or like 4 a.m. or something. Like, was that gunshots? And like, I don't really know. And then they see police showing up and then they realize that some terrorists came in and kidnapped the Israeli athletes. And they're like, this is literally happening to the Jewish athletes in Germany post Holocaust. This is the first time that Germany gets like the Olympics again after all these years. So then this news team, who's just a sports team, they have to figure out how to do news, and they have to they start aiming all their cameras at it and trying to help the police figure it out. And I haven't gotten to this part in the movie yet, but they reveal this part in the trailer is that the terrorists then realize that all this shit is live on TV. So then the terrorists are watching the TV and they're seeing the police plan and everything. And so then they're like, oh fuck, what are we allowed to show? What can we not show? Do we put it on a delay to fuck them up? You know what I mean? But it's pretty interesting. So
Does
I
he
think
use any real footage?
I don't know yet. So that's what my wife was asking me as we're watching. She's like, is that the real footage? I'm like, I don't know. But after this, we're
Have
definitely
you looked into that story?
No, I don't want to yet because I don't know how it turns out.
September 5th?
It's called September 5th and it's streaming on Hulu?
We need to watch that this
Hulu
week.
or Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to find out anything what actually happens until I finish the movie, and then I'm going to go back and watch all the real footage and see how closely it lines up.
Let's put that on for next week. We should all watch that.
But it is up for Oscars. Not Best Picture, but what'd you say? Yeah, Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
It's up for some more things.
So September 5th, and then what was the other thing that we're watching for next?
We're going to get to the documentaries coming up here soon.
Yeah, Ruby Franklin.
Ruby,
yeah. So that's all I have to say about the Oscars.
Are you putting that in the group chat?
That's all I had to say about the Oscars as well.
Do you guys have anything else for the Oscars, or should we move on?
We can move on.
Okay.
Can I talk about Love Hurts really
Go
fast?
ahead. Yeah.
I went and watched that in theaters for Valentine's Day. I love a good Valentine's Day movie. It's my favorite thing to do on Valentine's Day. And I went and watched Love Hurts, and I was super excited the entire movie. Because I love seeing an Asian person starring on screen. Okay, number one. Okay. I love to see it. First of all, second of all, I thought it was a little cliche, but it was really cutesy. I was watching it, and I wanted a little bit more from the storyline of it. But the way that it was executed by the actors, I really liked it. But it has a really low score on Rotten Tomatoes.
18%, which bummed me out because I really wanted to see it because I can't remember the actor's name because it's very Asian. Haequin, Jaequin, can't remember his name. Keequin.
I can't remember American actors.
It's the actor who played Short Round in Short Round in the Harrison Ford movies from the Indiana Jones.
Oh,
he was the little Asian kid in Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
and then
Mr. Jones.
And then he's done movies since then. But then he got really popular a couple of years ago when he did Everything Everywhere All at Once, and he won Best Actor, and that was everyone was super happy because it's the best. It's the only thing he's done since he was a little kid. Not the only thing, but it's he kind of disappeared for a while since his acting as a kid, and then all of a sudden he comes back and then he wins Best Supporting Actor in the movie one. So I was really excited to see him be the lead of something, and it kind of looked like a Jackie Chan style movie where it's going to be really good choreographed action where he's fighting people with objects or in the environment.
I really love it when
and then
people
it got
revive their careers.
And they got terrible ratings.
Well, can we talk about, you guys know the TikTok trend where it's my Shayla or whatever?
No, I don't have TikTok.
No? Okay, well, something that reminds them of something they love. They go, my Shayla. And you guys know what I'm talking about, so don't pretend, okay? They had this actor on there that I hadn't seen on screen in a while. That is my Shayla from my childhood. I was obsessed with 90210 as a kid.
90210.
But the newer version, not the older version.
Because you were definitely not born when you.
Right, but there's this actor. The character's name is Liam Court, in the show. And I was in love with Liam Court. I'm talking, I had his pictures all over my walls. My mom knew I was in love with this man. And he was in this movie. And I didn't know he was in this movie. So on Valentine's, my girly butt is sitting there, and I'm like, my love, he's on the screen. And I was so excited. And he plays a bad guy. And I was like, oh, so typical. I'm always into like the bad guys, right? I was so happy to see him. And I didn't know he was back in the game. And he's back in the game now. And I'm excited for him. He has a wife and kids. So it's fine. We support
off
him.
the table.
But we love him.
His name is Matt Lanter. That's the actor's name.
Yes. And the guy from Property Brothers,
He's in this movie?
Yes, he's in the movie. He plays a realtor in the movie.
Go figure.
But like he's like this goofball buff guy. He's like, ooh, I'm so tough, I'm sexy. And he plays his character. It's so funny to see the difference. Like I thought the movie was hilarious for in its own way, like outside of the movie, just the characters that played, the actors that played the characters. I was like, oh, I love him. And it was just a really good movie. I thought it was great. So the fact that people are giving all my W men L scores is offending me.
Offended.
I'll watch it on streaming.
It's good. I like it. I think it's worth the watch. It was a good Valentine's Day to watch. It's really cheesy. And also, I don't know, like the main actress of the movie, her plot line was kind of all over the place. So like I understand, but also it was a good movie. You should watch it. And I'm gonna leave that in my hot takes. I think that was without spoiling any movie plots. Watch it for the actors, if anything. That's that.
That's all I have to
Steven,
say about that.
can we talk about Three Body Problem?
Yeah, we can.
Can we talk about what the fuck I just watched? What did you guys seen that yet?
No.
Three Body Problem?
It is.
I don't know if I would recommend it because it's really like, okay, so
Is it a movie or a series?
it's a TV show on Netflix.
Okay.
It's not, how many episodes was it?
I think it's 2 seasons, right?
It's on my
No,
list. I
only
haven't
one
seen
season.
There's 1 season? Yeah.
The second season's coming out
Oh, okay.
this year, though.
Yeah.
It's one, I want to say it's like, let's say 8 episodes, something like that. I can't remember how many.
It's not a very long watch.
Okay.
It starts off, the first 2 episodes, you're like, what? Or I'll just tell you my experience.
Yeah.
The first 2 episodes, I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, throughout the whole first episode, I thought I was watching a different show. I thought I was watching Bodies. And I'm like, because Bodies is about kind of time traveling where a dead body shows up in 3 different timelines and the investigators keep like investigating the body and then someone realizes, hey, we found this body 40 years ago. So in this movie or in this TV show, there's also 3 different timelines and somebody dies in the first like 20 minutes of the show. So I'm like, oh, this is that show. And then by the end of the episode, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's very hard to follow where the timelines go.
They don't explain.
They don't explain like where you're at
until
in the timeline.
I would say maybe the end of episode 2 or possibly even episode 3, you finally start to figure out what the fuck's happening in the show. Then I'm like, okay. And then it got interesting. And then by episode 5 or 6, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing again? And I'm like, I was about to be out on the show, but I'm like, I only have a few episodes left. So then I kept watching and then it got interesting again towards the end. So now I'm back in, but I was like, the show is so up and down.
I like shows like that. I like shows like that a lot.
And the thing is like, you don't think, like you have a strong guess of, because I don't want to give away the plot too much. I'll be happy when we can like deep dive it a little bit more, but it's the type of show where you don't really understand like where like, you have a guess of what's going on and you're like, oh, this is what's happening right now. This is where they're at. This is the universe that they're in. This is what's real. This is what's not. And then you just don't know.
Should I explain the first couple episodes to them so they understand when they're watching it, or should I just let them be
I think
confused?
Let me be confused, please.
Yeah, I
love
would be
it.
confused.
All right.
What was it called again? 3 Bodies? What?
3 Body Problem.
I will say they have John Bradley from Game of Thrones in it, so now I'm pulled in.
Oh, is he the chunky guy?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
pulled in. I'm pulled in.
Yes. Yeah.
I watch movies for the actors and actresses. Okay,
We'll circle back to that, and once you guys are a couple episodes in, we can deep dive it and have our what the fuck moments. But
Yeah,
Sounds
because
good.
I remember I didn't want to Google it because I didn't want to know what happens.
yeah,
So I was talking to somebody I work with about the show who told me to watch it. And I remember by episode 3, I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? And he's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but you'll figure it out. And
I mentioned it a month ago, over a month ago.
But then the other person at work, and I remember he specifically mentioned it more recently. So I started watching it. So he's like, yeah. And he didn't know if he recommended. He's like, yeah, I'm not really sure. It's kind of, it doesn't answer a lot of questions.
No.
So then midway through, I started getting bored with it again. And then I'm like, whatever, I'll just keep watching it. And then it got good again towards the end.
You ever see you ever see like a superhero that you like get beat up and you're like, he's not supposed to get beat up like that.
No.
And then he just like takes over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of situations where you think things aren't supposed to happen or they do happen. And then later on you're like, well, just do it again. And then it just doesn't happen. And so you're confused on what the capabilities of people are.
Okay. I see. It's like,
but it's not a superhero shit.
It's science fiction.
It's science fiction.
100% science fiction,
I'll let you
alien
guys-
based.
From the description and from pictures I see, like, it gives me. Do you guys remember that one movie where it was like you get a certain amount of time and then you can transfer time to pay for things?
Yeah, with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
that
Justin
was
Timberlake,
what I
yeah.
think this. That's what I thought this was going to be like,
No.
and now I'm like, no,
No.
it's probably not.
No,
Not at all.
nothing like it.
You may, if you saw the trailer, you probably saw where somebody sees time ticking down in their vision, and that is a plot line for the. It's
in there, but I'm not going to tell you why it's in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to explain why, but yeah, that does happen where somebody does see time ticking down, and it
Well,
causes.
because I saw that and I was like, was this just a remake? Like, I was
No,
like,
no. Completely
it's
different.
Completely different.
No.
Jury Duty. You guys watched that? Season 2 and 3 filmed, and season 1 is already out.
It
Have you
won
guys
awards.
all seen?
No, I have not seen it yet, but it is on the list. Yeah. I want to see it.
Dude, I recommend this show with everything.
I told the old lady a couple days ago we need to get on it.
Oh my god!
is it heavy? Is it heavy?
No, it's funny. It's a
Okay.
comedy.
Funny.
Okay.
Oh, I thought the rest of you guys had watched it because it
No,
was in
no,
the
no,
group
no,
chat.
no.
Oh, so you have no idea what it's even about?
No,
Do you
no.
know what it's about?
A little bit, but I haven't
We-
gotten into it. We talked about it a little bit.
Okay, so I'll tell you because there's no reason. There's no mystery. There's no reason to not
Right.
know what it's about.
Yeah.
So it is a show where they take this guy. I forget how they convince him. I guess they just tell him he's there for jury. This is a real life. This is a real person. His name is Ronald. He thinks he's going to jury duty, and he's being told that they are filming jury duty because they want to do like a documentary about like the life of a juror, basically like a life of an American juror. So he's not surprised when there are cameras around, but everybody else who's on the show is an actor. And have you seen like the Joe Schmo show? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's like that. Where
Okay.
Everybody is an actor except this one real person. And so he goes on this jury, and everyone, all the jurors are actors, the judge is an actor, the bailiff, the whole
Right.
thing is fake. It's all a fake production. This guy thinks it's real. And James Marsden ends up being a juror, but he plays himself because everyone knows who James Marsden is. So he's playing like the Hollywood guy. He's like, I'm not going to be a part of this, whatever. Like, this is bullshit. My agent's got to get me out of here. And then some shit happens outside the courtroom, obviously fake,
Right.
and makes them get sequestered. So then these people have to live together in a hotel because they've been sequestered by the judge. And so they have hidden cameras all over the hotel. They have hidden cameras all over the they know there are some cameras, but then they hide so many more. So they get all these behind the scenes things. And it is so funny. And to pull this show off is amazing because like at the end of it, they did a behind the scenes thing where they show like the production room. So off to the side of the courtroom, they had all the production people in a room with all these monitors and script writers. And they're saying like, okay, we're going to do like plot line A. And if he doesn't respond well, or if it's not funny, we'll go to plot line B. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go to storyline C. And then like they had to have this giant like web of ways to take the storyline because they don't know how this real person's going to react to it.
That's awesome.
So they start bringing up something about like racism, and they're hoping that he would go one way and then he goes another. And they're like, okay, if he's not racist, this is the
storyline. If he takes the bait, this is the storyline. And it just looked like when they showed the behind the scenes, it just looked like chaos because at one point, one of the actors accidentally refers to somebody by their actor name, not their like character name.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes, huh? And then they're like, the production team's
He's like, fuck. Like, we blew it. Like, the whole show's done. But it ends up getting, like, swept under the rug, or he, like, forgets about it or something. But it's so funny. And then they I don't want to say where they go, but they end up doing, like, it's like, 8 episodes long? 10 episodes long?
Yeah, it's not long.
And they end up going on, like, a little field trip. The judge is like, all right, you guys have been sequestered for so long. You guys can go out and have this little fun day. So they get to go out as a group, and they're going to a real environment, and they're having to hope that people don't like fucking notice, like the camera crew, and they're they're showing behind the scenes. They hide the camera crew like in plants and like
trees
all these
and
other
shit.
things. And then they have to hope that like the general public doesn't start fucking with things. And then James Marsden's a real person, but he had to be like kind of wearing a hat and glasses so people didn't. It's so funny.
That's
it's so funny. And it won a Emmy for best. I don't know if it was best comedy or best original something or another, but it did win Emmys.
Fuck yeah.
Jury duty. Cool.
So
But season 2 and 3 have been filmed and they are in the can, ready to be released. Season 2 is coming out this year at some point. Season 3, who knows, a year or two from now. I think they tweaked the story a little bit, so it may not be a jury duty. I don't know how. I actually haven't read into it yet, but they said they had to tweak a little bit so people wouldn't be onto them because the show is such a success. It's like it's hard to recreate that. You know what I mean? Like eventually people are going to catch on.
It'd be like interesting if they were like, oh, now we're doing it from a plaintiff, like someone's getting sued for something, but it was a completely made up suit.
and maybe I don't remember. I didn't look into because I don't know why I didn't look into it, but there is something different with season 2.
All right, well, I'm sold. I'm in it.
It's so funny.
I'm here for it.
Gabby Petito doc.
What did you think?
Opening with the body cam was brutal. Okay, I turned.
Really?
They opened it with the body cam footage because if those who don't know Gabby Petito's story, she was in a domestic abusive relationship, but she didn't know she was in a domestic abusive relationship until later on when they've been together for a while and they were living on the road together. And so they have been friends since childhood. They went to the same high school. They've known each other for a long time, but they dated other people. They came back later. I think when she was 19, he asked her out and they started dating. And then it went from we're just dating to I'm moving to Florida and I want you to move with me. Okay. They moved to Florida. Then he's like, I want to live in a van. And she's like, okay. Now they're living in a van. And she's just going along with everything he's saying. And it's very different from what she wanted to do with her life that like people were like, oh, she's in love. She's in love.
Did she have any like mental illnesses?
Severe anxiety.
Yeah. But the thing is, she always wanted a YouTube channel and she started that on the road. She's always thought about going into van life, but it's always been like little things that have been accelerated through the guy she was dating. And he was actually very anti being a YouTuber and vlogging.
Yeah, he fucking hated that shit.
Yes, but that was the one thing that kept her sane on the road was doing that. She's like, if we're going to do this, I want to do what I want to do. And she was getting really popular. A lot of people were watching her stuff. And one day she's on the road with him and they're arguing and he starts hitting her. At least that's what someone calls in and says. They're like, hey, I just watched this man hit this girl in the car. You need to check on them. And when they go to find the van, it's swerving back and forth. And they pull it over and he has scratches on his face and she has a black eye. And they're like, what's going on here? And she's like, I'm sorry, officer. It's my fault. I was pushing ahead. That's why he swerved.
I was like distracting him when he was driving.
Yeah.
And we were fighting. We've been fighting all morning.
And that's where the documentary starts. Is the footage of them
getting pulled over
and having discourse with the police officers. And I can't say that the police officers didn't do their job.
I can. I can.
I was shocked at how much they did and how sympathetic they were.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't understand why they made her stay with the van, but it seemed like she wanted to stay with the van.
No.
But they didn't separate them.
They did.
Did you see the documentary yet, Lucas? Okay. Are you going to?
Yeah. I mean, you can guys go ahead and talk about it because I don't want to get to it anyway.
It's public information. So
Right.
it's like, this is like, it's real shit that happens.
They
So it's like,
sent-
it's a Google search.
They sent him to the domestic abuse shelter.
Yeah, because so I know that was goofy, but they had nothing to go on except for the stories. They were both physically hurt in some way. He had cuts on his face and she had like a bruised eye.
Right.
She said I was the one who was hitting him and I was being this and that. He said she's the one who was hitting me. And they're like, how did she get that mark? And I think he said because he pushed her away or something. So that was like from him like pushing her in the face like to get off. But he said she was the one who was doing stuff to me.
She was the aggressor.
So the police kind of are just going based off. She said I hit him.
Also,
he
the
said
police did pull at each other's side and were like, I can't see this little girl.
They're like, she's so small.
She's so small. How is she doing? He's a big dude. Like, what?
Not to mention, she's sitting there being like, he gets really upset with me. He gets really angry. He gets...
She was crying
She's
the whole
crying. She's literally shaking. And she's like, I just don't want to be alone. Please don't make us separate. I don't want to be in the van by myself. She's staying with the van. He's going to the 5-star luxurious hotel. He can shower. She can go to a gas station.
The fact that so after that happens, they give her I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning was that they gave her the vehicle to stay in.
And it was her vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Was it under her name?
It's her vehicle under her name, and they bring that up later.
Okay.
And I think
so. Then that has to be why. Then
I think that's why they came to that conclusion.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And they did say that she wanted the van, like she
it's her van.
Yeah, they were saying that she wants the van. She wants the van. She wants to stay with the van. She wants to. They repeated it a couple different times, but they send him to It's crazy. The police got him a hotel.
Yeah, they paid for his hotel.
Yeah.
But the hotel was I was confused. Was the hotel at a battered
It's a
shelter
hotel for battered
people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think that they paid for it.
So maybe not a hotel, because I think they said we got you a room is what they said.
Okay.
So I think they bought him a room at a facility for people who are like victims of domestic abuse. Yeah. So they had her go sleep in the van, and they put him up in this place for the night, and then they documented everything, and then they let him go. And then a couple days later, he ends up killing her and throwing her body.
That's not the only thing that happened, though. Like, there's more stuff. For example, when so he's messaging from her phone. Like, did you guys see that? Like,
that was after he killed her, though.
Right. But she calls her mom every day. She talks to her mom. She has a set routine of things that she does. And she was also talking to her ex-boyfriend at the time, saying, hey, I want to leave him. It's not like it was just a random thing that she brought up one day. She was talking to multiple people about he gets really angry. I'm thinking about leaving him. All of these clues.
And he may have found out.
And I don't know. There's this controversy of, was this text sent after she was dead, or was it sent before she was dead, right? The text of, I'm going to leave him. I'm going to keep my van and blah, blah, blah. I think he sent that text.
Oh, yeah.
But in the documentary, they said that she sent the text. But I think he sent that text because the only time she mentioned it to her family about leaving and stuff like that was when she was on the phone. When the night they were separated and the other guy got the hotel and she was in the van, she called her ex and said, I'm going to leave him. And she was on the phone talking to him about it. So the only thing I can think is he texted her or she texted him, because remember the night they said that they ended up meeting up and leaving that night. Mm-hmm. So I think that he found her phone and he plotted her death and he killed her. I think that that's what happened. And then he used that as a cover-up of, hey, I'm going to try and leave him, as I don't know where she went. She left. Like, that was his plan when he first.
So they end up finding the van where?
The van was at his house.
Right. That's the weird part. After all that, then the van is at his house with him.
And he's home on vacation. Like, he drove back to Florida without her.
After he murdered her.
And they're like, hey, where's Gabby? And he's like, I
don't know.
I don't know.
He's like,
damn.
Like, you don't know? Like, the van is at your house. She got mad and left, or whatever he said.
Parents
won't talk. Parents are like, the police come to the door and the parents like, we're not speaking. They're like,
we have a lawyer. Talk to our lawyer.
They're just like, they don't even know she's dead yet. They're just like, we just want to know where Gabby is. Oh, yeah, sorry. You can talk to our lawyer. They're like,
we don't know where she is.
Why are you lawyering up? Like, we're just asking where
and the story is he flew back home because they got into a big fight. Why is the van in the driveway?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just really suspicious stuff.
And they're like, well, we're gonna tow the van. That's not your van. It's her van. And we don't know where she's at. And he's like, can you guys really do that? Yeah. Like, it's not your van. Yeah. And she's a missing person who you last saw alive. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know where she's at. We got into a fight, right? And there's more. There's more, right? So she's missing and everyone's trying to figure out where she's at. She has a following on YouTube. Everyone's like, where's Gabby Petito? Let's find Gabby Petito. And this was a big thing that blew up what was it, 2 years ago?
Something like that.
Right? Yeah. So there's a hashtag going on. Where's Gabby Petito?
Now. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about.
You remember the story?
Yes, I remember the story, yeah.
Did he go missing before or after they found her body? Before, right?
They couldn't find him anymore. Yeah.
He was home the whole time, right? And then one day he just disappeared. The parents are like, we need to report him missing. He's gone. They're like, what do you mean he's gone? What do you mean he's missing? And they're like, we don't know. We just came home and he was gone. You mean you forget to tell the police you have a second vehicle that's missing that he took? And you're reporting him missing? The fact that they gave so much false information and they never got in trouble is crazy. Not to mention the parents, when Gabby's parents were reaching out to his parents trying to figure out where's Gabby, they blocked her parents.
Yeah, he took her phone and he started sending out texts to make it seem like she was still alive.
It's clearly
he started transferring money. Right. He Venmo'd himself from her phone, and it said, here's what, $1,000 or $500. Never speak to me again. I'm done with you or whatever. But she was already dead at this point. He was just trying to leave a trail.
Yeah, obviously.
And then, and the forensic evidence showed that both phones were interacted with like within seconds of each other. So it was clearly he hit like send, accept. You know what I mean? Like so he thought he was being slick, but
and they also GPS both phones and
realized they were next to each other.
Realized that they were right next to each other.
He sent a text to her mom saying like, because I guess. What was it? Her grandpa kept calling her, and in the phone, her grandpa's listed as like Chuck or something, but it's her grandpa. And he said, "Hey, tell Chuck to stop calling me." And her parents were like, "She never refers to her grandpa as Chuck. This is some sort of joke on her phone."
Right.
So they're like that. They're like, that's weird that she would say, "Tell Chuck to stop calling me." She'd say, "Stop telling grandpa," whatever.
Exactly.
But he doesn't know that because he just sees the name Chuck that keeps calling. So he thinks he's slick, and he's sending out texts that say like, "Hey, you're not going to hear from me a while because blah blah blah." Like, and he ends up obviously they figured it all out
because of social media. They find where
other people
last was seen at.
This was all in Zion, and a lot of people are in Zion also vlogging and doing whatever. So people were going through their old footage, and they found footage of the van
and her. Like they pinpointed her
and they're like, okay, it was parked over here. This is kind of weird. And then from there, they found her body.
I remember that.
And not to mention, they found so many dead bodies in the search of looking for her body.
Oh, other people?
Yeah, I think they said they found like at least 7 to 8 other bodies that have been
crazy.
Missing.
Bodies.
Yeah.
But like people who were all reported missing that no one was looking for.
Yep.
Because of this white girl goes missing.
So that gets talked about at the end of the documentary. At the end of the documentary, they end up talking about, because then that was the controversy. Like, oh, as soon as this like pretty white girl goes missing, the whole world stops and tries to find her, and they find her. What about all the other women, like women of color and all this other stuff who go missing and nobody gives a fuck? So at first the family said that they were pissed off when that was the news story, because they're like, this is our daughter. Like, we don't want to hear it. But then they realized how true it was, and they saw the numbers that came out that said like thousands and thousands of like women of minority like never get a single news story, and their daughter had like 50 hours of it. So then they're like, okay, actually that is fucked up. So then they started a foundation, and the foundation is to like find girls of like of other backgrounds, who aren't just like pretty white girls. And so now their family, that's kind of like or at least her parents, that's like their mission now.
And then they did find him eventually.
Or I hit something?
They found his dead body.
His dead body?
Yeah, his mom. Oh,
I wasn't gonna spoil that part.
Spoilers, man, you're terrible at spoilers. Wow, no, now I'm shocked. I don't even. We should move on to the next topic now.
No.
We
have to know his mom.
No, I don't have to know.
We have to talk about the letter. We have to
I
talk
was
about
gonna
the letter.
watch it.
I was leaving it on purpose.
It's a deep dive episode.
It is not a deep dive episode. I was not prepared.
Well, don't say what happens, but.
Can we talk about the letter?
We could talk about the next topic now, because you're just giving me the story. You're giving everybody the story at this point.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Watch the documentary.
I'm sorry I didn't watch it.
All right, tell us about Ruby Frank.
Okay.
Spoiler free, please.
Dude.
just
how do I talk about it without spoiling it? That one's a hard
like you're
one.
making the trailer for it.
Okay. YouTube started getting popular. And with YouTube,
20 years ago, okay.
Right? With YouTube, there's different genres. You have your family channels, you have your gaming channels, there's different type of YouTubers.
Right.
Push it.
This girl, Ruby Frank, she's in college when YouTube first comes out. She meets her husband and they start having babies. And she's like, I want to learn how to be a vlogger. So she starts getting popular around the time she's pregnant with her 8th child. Their 6th child. And then the 2 of them, and they call their channel the 8th Passenger channel. And it's about their family. And at the start of their family YouTube channel, it's about, what do I do with my kids when we have a fun day? Everyone's in love with how great of a mom she is. She even got voted Mom of the Year one year. And
by who?
It's like a YouTube thing, right? Like, she got voted Mom of the Year, and it was her pride and joy. Well, the more time that went on, her children would start to act up, and they weren't loving the limelight of being a YouTube star. Basically, they are like, we don't want to film videos, we don't want to answer.
What age ranges are these kids?
I think at the age they started rebelling, it was like 11 years old. Like, the kid had then been on
what was YouTube. The youngest, oldest?
The youngest was a baby.
Oh,
and the oldest was 11 years old when the
channel started.
No, when it started, the oldest was 8, I believe.
Okay.
So kids are growing up watching them. And so they're like, we want to see more Chad. We want to see more Chad. He's the oldest kid. And so she's like, Chad, smile in these videos. Chad, do this. Chad, do that. And he's like, I don't want to be on YouTube anymore. My friends watch the YouTube. Like, everyone watches it. I don't want to do it. And she's like, well, I'm going to take away your phone. I'm going to take away this. I'm going to take away that. And it's about the story of how she progressed from this loving mother to how she became what she is. And right now, where we're at, she's sitting in jail for child abuse, but half of her kids are out of her house. There was a giant video that came out on YouTube last year where there was this kid walking up to a doorbell camera, and their legs are wrapped in duct tape, and they have open wounds all down their legs, on their arms. And they're like, can you call the police? Can you call the police? Help me, please. And they're like, where did you come from? Next door, my mom's had me locked in a closet for over 2 days, and I don't feel good. He skin and bones the kid. That's the second youngest. And the cops are called. They're interviewing him. They're like, where have you been? Jody Hilbrandt's house. Jody Hilbrandt is Ruby Frank's therapist she sends her kids to. And they start their own channel. I forget what it's called. I think it's called The Connections. And it's about this God-loving group who basically hates on men and how their children should be obedient. And if they're not obedient, you need to take away what they love until they learn that obedience is love. And it's a whole thing. I don't want to get too much into the topic, but basically her youngest kid, mute, like not talking at all, was locked in a closet when they found her. Don't know how long she'd been in there. The second youngest, skin and bones, open wounds. I think that she would put salt and honey and rub their legs in the wounds, trying to heal it, like in like some side way without taking them to the hospital. Her husband hadn't seen the kids in a couple years. They were having problems.
A part of the channel.
No, because of Jody Hilbrandt. Jody Hilbrandt was like, this man, he values lust and sex. You need to cut him out of your life until he's willing to come back and value you for who you're supposed to be. And she's like, yeah, get lost. All you want me is for my body. I want my kids to be obedient, and you don't agree with me. Have you seen
her? I'd want her for her body too.
Dude.
He said, let me hit.
She's hotter than Jody Arias.
Jesus, man.
Dude, and they talk about that in the documentary about how she was very like, the husband talks about how all the men wanted her when she was in college, and he found a list of all the guys that she liked, and they had a rating of, on a scale of 1 to 10, I like him for this reason and this reason. Does he check these boxes? So the husband went home that summer after he found it, and he made himself her ideal man, and then he married her the next summer. And so it just it deep dives into her history, the YouTube channel, and the kids. The older kids are really shown. I'm only on episode 2 of 3, but they really give the kids a platform to speak on how the abuse was and how it felt to them at the time. And at one point, the older kid, and this was known on the YouTube channel, this is when she lost a lot of her followers too. He had his bedroom taken away for 7 months, and he was sleeping on a beanie bag in the basement because he didn't deserve a room. Because he told her he didn't want to be in YouTube videos.
Little brat ass kid.
But then then they took away his phone, all kinds of other stuff, and they threatened to send him. He got expelled from school. He would rebel in school. He's like, I don't want to be in these videos. You're treating me like trash. And she's like, okay, we're going to send you to military school until you're 18. And it's apparently scared him so much that he started becoming the perfect child that she wanted. And so now that he could do it through Jody's direction, her other kids can do it. If you watch your older brother, he's doing good. Do you want to end up like what happened to him? Do you want to lose basic rights? And it's a whole documentary you guys need to watch. It's really good. I think we're going to deep dive it next week, but
yeah, it's called Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Frank. It's on Hulu. 3 episodes. They're each 50 minutes long. So you're talking about less than 3 hours to watch.
Remember, little girls are the devil.
Devil in the Family.
It's hard to watch, and I honestly, when you guys watch the documentary, I do recommend watching a couple of YouTube videos.
What was it called again?
Of theirs?
Not of theirs. They put some of the YouTube videos in the documentary.
What is the documentary called?
The Devil in the Family.
Okay.
On Hulu.
Yeah, Devil in the Family. Hulu.
You need to watch some of the summaries and I do recommend watching the body cam footage as well before you come back.
Is that not in the documentary?
I don't know. I haven't seen the 3rd episode, but there's.
I would think that.
You need to. They don't. I don't know if they cover it yet or not. But if they don't, you need to watch the body cam footage of the kid being found, and you need to watch the body cam footage of her court case.
Talking about a lot of morbid shit this week.
Yeah. But it's something that needs to be talked about because there's a giant law that's coming out to support kids who are on YouTube because of this family. And it's a hot topic that is still being talked about today. And I want to dive into it, but I want to save it for next week. And we'll dive a little bit more once we're done because I don't know what they talk about it in the documentary. But
I don't want to put too much on next week, but I definitely want to get to that. So Ruby Frank, we can talk about next week a little bit more and deep dive that. And then I think we can... get a little bit through jury duty.
Yeah.
3 body problem. I'm not expecting anybody to get
Ruby Frank. What was that one?
Ruby Frank is the one that is
the Devil in the Family.
Yeah. Okay. And then I wrote down September 5th movie.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
quick
try
one.
and
It's
watch.
90 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
And then
short.
And jury duty. And
body problem.
Yeah, I literally have it in the queue for the. Just posted in the group chat. So.
Really fast too.
Me too.
And
Nice.
the rookie update. Okay, my other Shyla. Okay, you guys seen the 100?
The rookie update.
Lincoln was on it.
Jesus.
Oh my god, he was so hot. Okay, and also Tim and Lucy have some. I think they're gonna get engaged this season, but that's that. Okay, that's all.
Real quick,
Paradise.
before we get to Paradise and Dexter, did you want to talk some Invisible and Batman?
Invincible, the animated show, Let me hit up on some cartoons real quick and get off of this morbid topics. But at the same time, Invincible is a pretty morbid show for a cartoon. So, they're in season 3 right now. I just watched episode 6 that came out today, so I just checked that out. I don't know if you guys like superhero. I mean, we got superheroes on the wall. So
It's an adult show, right?
it's definitely an adult show. I wouldn't let my 8-year-old watch it, even though like the animation looks like kid animation. Like the story itself and the things that they do, it's pretty brutal. There's a lot of violence, a lot of cussing, sexual innuendos, things like that. But it's a pretty interesting story seeing it like in the whole. You get to see it from like a superhero's point of view, trying to live in the world, and he's essentially the strongest superhero in the world because of who his dad was, and his dad ends up turning on the entire planet. He used to be their strongest hero, and then he turned on the whole planet because that was his whole role to begin with. It was undercover, but then he had a son, and he, kind of had feelings, and he wasn't supposed to have feelings. The dad anyway, so then he left the planet, and then his son is invincible. That's who he became as the superhero because he's essentially that. He's invincible, and it's pretty cool seeing his struggles, seeing what he goes through, and it I don't know. It gives like real life to a superhero instead of just seeing them do.
This isn't like a
shit.
Marvel DC character, though.
No, well, it's a comic, not Marvel or DC specifically. No, it's an independent comic. But yeah, they adapted it into a show, and yeah, right now it's getting pretty involved. It's getting really heavy. Like I said, his dad flew away, and now that it's in season 3, like he rekindled with his dad millions of miles away in space, and it's weird now seeing his dad kind of change his perspective and now turning his back on his essential mission that he was supposed to do to take over the world. And now they're trying to fight what they call them, the Viltrumites. That's who they are. That's their race, essentially. Like if it was the Superman, if it was them, Kryptonians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that. But they call them Viltrumites. And they're there to conquer the whole galaxy. So his mission was to conquer Earth, but then he had feelings and then he left Earth. And then it's crazy how he's now turning against his own kind. It's like I said, in season 3, there's a lot of death. If you know, I don't know, there's a lot of death. Like when I say there's a lot of death, there's death in like every fucking episode. There's somebody gonna die, whether it's just some random person like on the street or, you know, civilians, casualties, or like a main character. Like there's always somebody that's gonna just
Batman.
fucking die.
Batman.
It is not Batman. It is not Batman.
No one dies in Batman, but they see it feels like it. But
it's really cool because it's definitely drawn towards more towards, I guess I'd say, people like my age, 30s, older 20s, younger 30s, kind of.
It kind of reminds me of what's the superhero movie or show that's
The
popular?
Boys?
The Boys.
Yeah, The Boys is what I was thinking of when you were talking about it.
It coincides with that. Like I'll skip between watching Invincible and watching The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys is pretty cool. I've been trying to catch up on that. I want to talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm all caught up on that.
And Gen V, you got to watch.
Oh yeah, I'll check that one out too.
Yeah,
Because Gen V is the spin-off of The Boys, but you have to watch. What are other 3 seasons of The Boys?
yeah. There's 3 seasons of The Boys, so you watch 2 seasons of The Boys,
And then
Gen V, and then back to The
perfect,
Boys.
because I'm almost done with season 2 of The Boys right
Yeah,
now.
So
So
you'll
watch
watch
Gen V
Gen
first.
V, and then it ties.
Because the characters go back and forth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then the characters all mesh together in the 3rd season.
Yeah, if you watch season 3 without watching Gen V, you won't know who those characters are. And then when you go back and watch Gen V, you'll already know who, you know what I mean? Like, then it'll kind of spoil stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Just to wrap up real quick with the Invincible situation. Season 3 right now. Mark, he ends up having a brother when he went to go see his father from in the galaxy or whatever, another galaxy. He found out that his dad had another kid with another alien race, brought the baby back home to Earth, and it's kind of like his sidekick now. So he's, there's two half Viltrumites that are essentially leading the planet. Not leading the planet, but they're the strongest people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they were part of a whole like global system, but now they're independent. And yeah, it's definitely a story to get into. Check that out.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say too much right now, but when it comes to conclusion in the next couple of weeks, I'll talk about it a little bit more. And then another thing that Amazon Prime led me to after I was watching
Amazon,
Invincible.
by the way.
Yeah, this is Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Another thing that led me to right after I finished all that was Batman the Cape Crusader. And I did not know that they had made this last year. I didn't know that this was even a thing. And if you have any like inclination or heart for the animated series, like back in the 90s, I think you'll fall in love with this. Like it has so many notes. You can tell that it's not trying to be the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely got a lot of elements that can relate more towards like the time that we're in now. But it's still that dark noir type setting, Batman. Like it's captivating. I'd recommend. I blazed through all 10 episodes, and they got a season 2 coming out sometime this year. They don't have a date for it yet, but they got a season 2 coming out. And the first episode, I'll go ahead and like give you a little bit of teaser or whatever. But first episode, when they introduced the Penguin, it just completely threw me off. The Penguin was a female, and like some big butch kind of like female, and she was singing opera, and it just kind of threw me off. And the whole thing, all the characters were just a little bit different than you would be used to watching the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fresh. It was very fresh. It was a very nice new take on everything. Like without straying too far from the source material that they wanted to go off of.
Do you feel like characters like the Batman are overdone?
Not when they're done tastefully. Like the way that he was done.
Because right now I say it all the time. We got fucking 4 Batmans out right now,
dude.
I want a new superhero.
It gets overwhelming.
kind of. Yeah.
It gets over. Go watch Invincible.
I'm just saying, no, like in general, like we get Superman and Spider-Man and Batman, and then now we have the Marvel and the DC, and they're combining them all. And I'm like,
if you like any of that, if you like superheroes and variety, Invincible has so many different, like, just I don't know. It kind of quenches your thirst to see different characters.
And it being an adult show, I think I would like it a little bit more.
Yeah,
because I did like The Boys a lot.
okay, well, I'm just thinking like Scarlet Witch. That was new. You know, like I want something new.
Have you seen The Boys?
No, I have not yet.
I would recommend that because that's a different take on superheroes in an adult way that you would be able to, you can get behind the characters, but at the same time it brings a level of realism, because it sounds like a lot of times we get stuck into superheroes having to be a superhero and do the corny shit, and not very often do you get
superhero in real life.
Yeah. Remember Hancock by Will Smith?
Yes.
How that was kind of like, oh shit, like he's like a real dude.
Like he's a drunk, he's an idiot, like he's a normal person who happens to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Same thing in The Boys. And it's the only reason I watch The Boys. I don't like superhero stuff. Like I literally don't watch anything superhero. But I got talked into watching The Boys because I was told, oh, it's funny. They make fun of superheroes. Like
it's not really just like, oh, look at these all powerful beings who can just do whatever.
And it gives you a level of realism, like when shit happens in Avengers and things.
None of it matters in the end.
Yeah, and then they totally overlook the fact that there are real people who are really dying.
I was going to say, that's actually something that in The Boys and Invincible touches on a lot. Like when there are casualties, it shows you that brutality, and then it also shows how it can affect some other characters in there. Like they notice those people that die, and when you watch Avengers or Iron Man or anything like that, you're just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah,
the building got blown up, or the road got tore up, the cars got flipped over. Like you don't think about that, but they get into that kind of stuff in those two series.
Do they touch on the universe not wanting superheroes to be superheroes?
Yes.
That's what The Boys is all about. So The Boys is basically like, what if instead of celebrities, like celebrities, like superheroes are the celebrities. So like there are thousands of superheroes in The Boys, and like the idea is that they want each town to have a superhero so that way they can like protect the town. But these superheroes are basically regular people who, without giving away the plot, aren't necessarily born as superheroes, but they get turned into superheroes. So they're kind of just normal people from normal families. And they are like complete fuck ups. Like a lot of them
like
are
turn
like,
into superheroes. How like they get
But
powers.
not to get too much into that. Not to get too much into that.
You this time, guy.
Yeah. Fuck you. So
that's the whole plot, like for season 2, bro.
But the important thing is the realism of how the superheroes interact with people, and how they are as celebrities, and what their actual motives are.
You guys are very passionate about this, and
it's a really great show.
It's
a really great show.
Just to tell you, and this isn't a spoiler because it happens literally in the opening scene of the show, but it starts off with this guy, a normal, just regular person, who works at like a record store or electronics store or something.
Yeah, some shit like that.
And he's with this girl he's dating, and they're outside standing there talking, and they're holding hands, and then all of a sudden
he just like, you see from his perspective, all of a sudden you see just something whoosh by, and then just blood hits him in the face, and he's like, what the fuck? His girlfriend exploded.
Okay, time out. I gotta pause everyone, because when you guys give me overhyped for a show, it makes me not want to watch it. So I'm hyped already.
Overhyped? You've been overhyped in the past 2 shows.
Listen,
girl.
No, not over. Like I'm talking like you guys are all in on it, and I'm feeling very like
The Rookie.
everyone's in on this, and I'm not, and I'm scared to get in on it. Like I'm
no.
here.
But just to give you an understanding of like where the show goes. But
Yeah, no,
She
I'm
said,
here.
"Don't be boys on the show.
Yeah.
Compose yourself."
but that's like you were saying, that's like the stuff that's like one of the reasons why I don't like superhero movies, is because like these superheroes will
So
fight
fake.
and they'll destroy buildings and all this stuff. And The Boys is like, what if the point of the show is like, what if there were people inside those buildings, and what if all those people just died now? Like, what happens after that? And so it kind of goes into like
cleans
how
up that mess?
I'm here for it.
it goes into how the people who have to live with these superheroes don't love having superheroes, because these people fucking destroy their neighborhood. They kill people. They get away with it. They're cops who have superpowers.
It's
and
gritty,
cover
but it
all up.
has a decent amount of like lighthearted tone to it, to where it's not just a drag.
It's funny too. It's like
Do
a
they
comedy.
have- do
They make
have
fun
some
of.
good like female leads in the show.
Yes,
100%.
yes,
Okay, I'll watch.
yes.
They also have some bad ones.
Because
Yeah,
the
I was
way
gonna
the way you guys are phrasing it, I was getting a lot of men that are very
No.
popular.
Oh, no.
Starlight.
And I was
Starlight's
saying, wait a
the
sec, wait a sec.
The lead of the show for the majority of the show was a woman.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm watching it. Go watch The Boys.
All right.
Boys.
Come experience it for the
I
first
think it's
time
won
with
a
me.
lot of awards too.
I'm sure.
It's been nominated for sure.
Yeah,
for
it's
a
been
ton of
nominated
Emmys.
for
I don't
a
know if
lot.
it's won,
Yeah.
but it's very highly regarded.
And go watch Batman Cape Crusader so we get that season 3.
Watch everything that we're watching, actually.
Yeah.
I was looking up Invincible while you're talking just to get some more background for it. So yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. Stephen Yeun stars. He does the voiceover.
I love Stephen Yeun.
He does a great job.
Of Mark Grayson. Sandra Oh is in it. J.K. Simmons. They play his parents. Yeah.
Oh, the actor or the voice actor for Omni-Man.
Is that J.K. Simmons?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. You know J.K. Simmons. He played in Spider-Man. He was
yeah, exactly. He does such a good role.
The Daily Bugle or whatever.
If you were to watch it, man, like when the show first starts, I thought it was going to be all about Omni-Man because Omni-Man is like I said, Mark's dad or whatever. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I thought it was going to be all about Omni-Man, so I was all about it. Like that voice, it just draws you in. That stern, masculine, like he's just
his voice is iconic.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, he plays such a good role, such a good superhero, you know?
Yeah. Looks like 3 seasons, 22 episodes. So about 7 a season? Or is it because it's not done yet?
It's not done.
It 10, 10,
it's
10?
10, 10, 10,
okay,
yeah.
so there's 3 episodes left of the current season. So yeah, is that it? Did we do it? Did we finish the pod?
Not yet.
You gotta try the snack.
Oh, the food. That's right.
We also real quick. I'm not gonna get too much into Paradise because I don't want to add anything else on anyone's plate, and the season isn't over yet, so we can deep dive it. But right now, as of right now, like within the next week or so, or excuse me, within the next maybe this could be on the next show after the next show. But Paradise is the best thing that I've seen all year.
I think I want to watch it. I was looking it up when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
this past episode they said is the best episode of TV, like period.
It's a bold thing to say, God.
Yeah.
It's up there though.
Especially when Breaking Bad has the top 51 episodes of all time.
It's up there. It is up there. It's up there. If you watch it from start to that episode, it's definitely up there when you're talking about high leverage situations. There's no higher leverage situation than what happened at that point. It is anxiety. It is absolute anxiety.
okay.
So, and I can't give away why. I can't give away any of it.
Just go watch it.
Oh my God, it's nuts. And then you said Dexter original series finales is coming out.
Oh yeah, so I just wanted to, because I don't think any of you guys watched Dexter.
No,
A little bit.
So all I was going to say was Dexter Original Sin. That's the new spinoff show that's a prequel. It's Dexter fresh out of college. And the finale, I just watched the finale last night. The season just ended. It was okay. It was a mixed bag. If you like Dexter, you're probably going to like this show. But it still has kind of the hokey, like, unbelievability of everybody that Dexter encounters happens to be a serial killer. Like, what are the odds that everyone he works with, everyone he knows is somehow involved in murdering people? And it's just like, so it's a little ridiculous, but that's always also how Dexter was. Like, Dexter was awesome. It was 8 seasons long, but it was still like he was constantly encountering people who were also serial killers.
Was Dexter the one with his dad in jail?
No, Dexter he's a serial killer. But he's a good serial killer. He has a code that he follows, and he only kills people who are worthy of being killed because his dad recognized at a young age that he was lost cause in terms of like fucked up. And his dad wanted to help channel his demon or his dark passenger, as he calls it. His dad wanted to help him channel his dark passenger into only killing people who deserve it.
Got it.
So that's Dexter. And that was 8 seasons long. And Dexter was a really fun show, but you kind of had to suspend your belief a little bit, or kind of just kind of roll your eyes at some of the ridiculous shit. You're like, okay, this is just fun. And it was a fun show. And that's kind of what the spinoff is. It's very much of just a fun kind of ridiculous but entertaining show. So
okay,
that's
hot take. I really, really, really want to watch the new Paddington in theater.
Is this Paddington, Peru?
Yes, I want to watch
Paddington.
it. So I might come back next week with that. Okay. It's
It's
finals week, so don't hold your breath. But maybe I might come back next week with that. So.
Oh yeah.
If you guys are animated TV show lovers,
Are we ready for snacks?
Take it away.
Look it, man. Look it. We've been waiting. Okay? Waiting. These guys made me keep this in my cupboard for a week, and the box is still closed.
You could have bought it.
I heard that you had to.
No.
I heard through the grapevine that you had to get 2 packs of Rice Krispie treats just to not fuck with those.
It wasn't 2 packs. It was 4 2-packs. Yes, I smashed 4 2-packs of Rice Krispie treats. I kept thinking about these for some reason. I don't even know if they're that special. I haven't even had them yet.
But it wasn't the last. Oh, because you wanted to try it for the first time. Oh, I see.
Yes, I didn't want to be one of them Debbie Downers. Okay. Submarinos, little Debbie Downers. They're like Twinkies, but with strawberry.
That's what they look like.
Is this something from culture?
It's from La Gaviota. It's from the Mexican spot.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
So,
I was gonna pass.
No.
It's even packaged exactly like a Twinkie.
Right.
Are Twinkies still a thing?
Yeah, Twinkies.
Yeah.
Can you still go get Twinkies?
Okay, well they were gonna
This is
shut it down because
is this made by the same company as is this Hostess?
No, man.
it's
It
not.
has the 3 holes in the bottom, just like Twinkie.
I
Well, because
I don't know Twinkies.
it's how these are made though.
You don't know Twinkies.
I didn't grow up eating Twinkies.
What?
Neither did I, but I've had a Twinkie.
I don't think we were allowed to for some
All right,
reason.
are we allowed
Cheers.
to bite? Cheers.
I guess.
All right, I'm gonna
This guy's not ready.
Put it in your
hold on,
mouth.
I'm gonna eat it from behind.
From the back.
That's what I was trying to go for.
How you guys feel about like the?
Yeah.
It's not
Strawberry
pound
Twinkie.
cake, but it's like angel cake.
Yeah, that's basically what this is.
Yeah, it is. I love angel cake.
Do you really?
Yes. Was it too dry for you? Look at you.
Yeah, it's just dry for me. It doesn't.
It's dry
go-
for me.
It's drier than a Twinkie.
Don't you eat Popeye's biscuits, bro?
Listen, I was expecting to bite into this.
Really?
religiously.
Pepes.
This shit won't go down, bro.
It is definitely okay. If you
I feel like I can't swallow it all.
I feel like
Pause.
they didn't.
Pause. That was crazy.
I feel like they didn't really stuff
said
it.
that
I can't
live.
take
Be
it
for
all.
real.
You don't think they stuffed it enough?
No, I'm gonna be for real. Okay, I'm gonna sound like a fatty, but like, really?
Nah, I can say like towards the end, this last bite right here, it was looking like this picture,
Yeah,
right? But
They
then now
skimped
this
you on the end?
last quarter right here, yep.
it's good.
Like they didn't penetrate it all the way through when they
Yeah.
stuffed it.
I think Twinkies are a little more moist. than these.
They taste better.
These are
yeah.
drier than Twinkies.
But it's
Are these
strawberry.
bigger than Twinkies?
No, they're the exact. They literally look the exact same.
I'm weird. I like that kind of shit. Twinkies are way too sweet for me. These are perfect.
Really?
These are perfect, I think.
Well,
I think I like these better than Twinkies.
Oh, so you have had a Twinkie?
I've had a Twinkie, but it's just been so long I don't remember
Oh.
what they look like.
Twinkies are better.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
I just feel like when I swallow it, that I only swallow like half of it, and I have to keep swallowing to get it down.
Why don't
Yeah.
you take a little sippy sip?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a sippy sip. What was it that
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
brought?
say, we
I
got a sippy
brought
sip.
zero sugar Dr. Pepper blackberry. I have been so pro zero sugar drinks.
Yeah,
I'm
I love
trying
them.
to cut out sugar a lot, and Dr. Pepper, I love me a Dr. Pepper, okay? And when I go to like the gas station or when I go to McDonald's, I'm like, give me that Dr. Pepper, but I'm trying to be better. And I walked into the gas station and I saw they had a zero sugar new flavor Dr. Pepper. I'm not a fan of the original zero sugar Dr. Pepper,
Really?
but I also really love blackberry flavoring. So I was excited to try this. I don't know what it tastes like yet.
You know what? And I don't like Dr. Pepper except the Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream, which they do make a zero of. I do like that one.
I didn't know they
don't
were
like-
zero sugar, but
You can find it at the gas
I don't like
station.
the cream. Anything cream, I'm not.
yeah. I'm
not
kind of the
going.
same. I'm
You
kind
know
of
what
the
I
same.
mean? Peaches and cream.
All right, I'm gonna go for it.
Straight out the bottle.
Oh.
I like it.
It's not Dr. Peppery, but it is Dr. Peppery. But it's like blackberry peppery.
I like it a lot.
I can guarantee you that blackberry is one of those 23 flavors. But they just
Already.
emphasize the shit out of it.
It kind of tastes like flavored water.
It's like
Because we
Dr.
let
Pepper.
it sit for a while, man. There's no carbonation.
No, but like it tastes good. Like you know those strawberry kiwi flavored water. I feel like I'm drinking one of those, but it's soda.
It's giving me
And
deep
it's not
grape.
strawberry or kiwi.
It's giving me deep grape Dr. Pepper.
Okay, I love grape though.
Deep
Maybe that's
grape.
why.
Deep grape.
Isn't
Yeah.
that what blackberries are?
Is it?
Deep grapes.
Deep grapes.
Deep grapes?
I think so.
Have you guys ever had a
That doesn't make
Marionberry?
sense to you.
Sounds good.
What?
A Marionberry?
No.
All right, you guys, if you're ever on like the West Coast, try to reach out and find a Marionberry and try it.
Is that some
Reach
Hawaii
out
shit?
to a tree or what?
Would you
No,
know?
like go to the grocery
nearest
store and
bush?
try to try. Look at the fruit section.
Is it a tropical type?
No, it's just a berry that's on the West Coast. It's not popular here because I
Okay.
think it's just grown over
Let me
there.
see. Let me look it up.
It's just like a blackberry, but it's sweeter.
Because I used to live in Maricopa County.
I just seen a little documentary about blue raspberry.
Oh yeah, a whole documentary.
Yeah, it was like a little 10-minute documentary.
Apparently, Marion Barry is a politician born in 1936.
Is she related to Halle Berry?
It was a guy, and he was a very ashy looking guy.
Was a guy.
How do you? Is it Marion with a E?
Are you telling stories right now?
Oh wait,
Marion.
Is it Miracle Berry?
No, it's Marion Berry.
Let me see.
His face pops up too.
Yeah.
Spelled the same way, Marion?
Yeah, it's one word.
That's funny.
One word.
Huh. And it's only available on the West Coast.
Oh, it's one word.
Yeah.
West Side.
And they're like, you know how blackberries are like this big? Marion berries are like this long. They're super
I don't want a long
And
berry.
Long berry.
And when you
long
go
berry.
to Oregon, for example, you can go on a hiking trail and they'll just grow off the side of hiking trails, and you just pick them and eat them as you.
They said that they were developed by Oregon State University, so this is a manufactured berry.
Anywhere you walk around, you can have it. It's like they're growing on the trails, like.
It was
off
a
the
science
bushes.
berry.
Because we used to eat blackberries off the fucking or whatever the berries were off the fucking tree just growing up.
Yeah.
Like don't eat those and they'd be sour and shit.
Yeah, Gene Hackman did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It says here that those long berries are also known as
Too soon,
dingleberries.
Dingleberry.
Dingle, that's my favorite berry.
Some dingleberries with some Fremunda cheese.
Dingleberries. Yeah, it's just isn't that one of those chartreuse boards?
Yeah, no, I love putting them on a cracker.
Also, have you guys had passion fruit before?
I've had
Flavored
passion fruit
things.
flavored
But
things.
not an actual passion
On
fruit.
crackers
They
and
have them. They're
biscuits.
back in season.
Don't
and
people fuck those?
I almost brought some today, but then I ate 2, so there's only 2 left, and I was like, that's weird if I just cut 2 open. So I might get a package just for our podcast, but you guys should try them. They're very good.
They're ones with the purple in the middle, right?
Are you latching onto what I said?
It's purple on the outside. And when
What's
you
the
cut
fruit
it
people
open-
fuck?
What do you think? I was gonna say.
They don't fuck those submarinos or whatever.
If you had to fuck a fruit, would you want to fuck like a pineapple or
No, but-
like
A pineapple.
Pineapple.
What kind of savage are you?
the inside of it?
No, it's spiky.
inside
the opening is like that big.
Also, pineapple is very like
Just cut a bigger hole.
Dude, no,
spiky in
pineapple.
Force a bigger hole.
Pineapple's so acidic, bro. Like,
You just like to force the hole bigger.
hey, maybe some people like that kind of shit.
I've been doing a lot of that lately.
I'm not gonna.
It's not squishy.
What?
It's hard. Like I don't understand.
What would you though?
Is it a grapefruit? Is that what people fuck?
I would say like a really
No.
big kiwi.
Can I
really
Google that?
big
Will the
kiwi.
I
answer-
think it was a grapefruit. I think you are thinking.
Right?
Of a
Don't they like
grapefruit.
put it in a microwave and fuck it?
No,
Something like that.
with grapefruits, they cut the ends off and cut a hole in it, and like they'll use it to suck dick with.
Not to expose myself. Not to expose myself a little bit.
Oh, you've done it.
This is a love panel now.
No. I have been on a weird side of TikTok lately,
Grapefruit.
and it's been men eating papayas. It's hot. I haven't seen it. I'm like, man, I'm into it.
And let me chill because I just found out that my entire family watches the pod. I'm not just talking about mom and dad. My grandmother shared an episode.
Yeah,
Granny, if
one?
you're watching this far, I love you. I love you.
Shout
And I'm
out
gonna
Granny
come-
Williams.
It's been too long. I love you. I'm gonna come see it. That's Rabbit Head right there.
yeah.
feel
You better go see Granny now.
I gotta go see. I gotta go drive up to Kalamazoo and go see her. I love you so much.
To the zoo?
Yeah, to the zoo,
Dang.
man. My whole family. My dad called. I called my dad today, and he was like, "Yeah, everybody's talking about your whole family over here. Everybody's sharing everything with it, watching it." I'm like, "Oh shit, I be saying bullshit. I be saying absolute bullshit." He was like, "Really proud of you." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
Yeah, you really proud of this one, huh?
yeah." So I got to be careful.
So if I were a man, because as a woman, I can't answer because that's inappropriate, right?
I don't know what you're going to say yet.
Yeah.
If I was a man,
About the fruit situation.
papayas. That's my answer.
Let me see a
You'd stick
papaya.
your dick in a papaya?
No,
I mean,
no,
it-
I don't even know what a papaya is.
It looks very sensual. Like,
What's
Yeah.
papaya? Is
if you cut it open and you
Oh, I'm fucking a papaya.
Look up men.
so
Look up
juicy.
men eating papaya, like so you can understand.
Oh, I get it. It looks like a.
You're
Yeah.
gonna look
Yeah.
and you're gonna see, and then you're gonna want to go home and say, "What up, girl?"
You're gonna be like, where do I get a papaya from? No, but
Papaya.
That's my
I
answer.
literally put men EA and then it said eating papaya. Oh,
Oh wow! Oh,
Eating papaya.
Wow.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
With their tongues.
The thing is like they're
Don't you eat with a
not
spoon?
eating papaya with their hands. They're eating it with their hands behind
with
their back,
their anus.
With their
and they're
hands
just
behind
putting
their
their
back.
face in it.
Yeah. Not to expose
What
myself.
is your TikTok pushing?
Like
you?
it was like
What is your TikTok?
Just tell us you miss him. Just tell us
Yeah, everything reminds me of him.
everything.
Damn.
Yeah, it's nuts. Here, I'm gonna.
Oh, she said no. Look at her.
Do you need your papaya eaten?
Short video, quick.
Go throw it in the microwave.
no,
Bruh.
no,
Bruh.
no.
Bruh.
This is what she's looking at.
Wait, that video. That's the video I saw on TikTok with,
I'm
with
sure.
the lady with the blonde hair.
I'm sure.
She had me. I was
can't
like,
see
man, men eating papayas. I was on that trend.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that's a TV show.
They're really going in it too.
What TV show is this?
It's probably like
Too hot to handle
Love
or
is Blind or
something.
something?
Love is Blind Hawaii or some shit. Yeah, it's fucking.
Jim Carrey
Yeah.
was doing that shit to watermelons before it was cool. Right?
He was,
Yeah.
and he was coming out of fucking elephant asses.
Right.
Ooh,
Rhinos.
do you guys
sir.
think you could
Rhinos.
smash a watermelon with your thighs?
Could who?
No.
Like
Could
that
who?
was a trend a couple years
Once
ago.
upon a time.
Like that, you put a watermelon between your thighs, and like guys would compete to see who could smash it.
I think I could.
Before I broke my legs,
That
I
was
could
a
definitely
trend.
do that.
I don't
think so.
I could deadlift you.
Deadlift
Dead?
me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lift.
No, I do not being being lifted. Okay,
I know. I'm just saying like when it comes to like people just doing like shit that they shouldn't
Right.
do.
right.
Yeah, I deadlift people.
No,
I just
'cause-
realized that I deadlift people.
One time,
How do you just realize these things?
Someone asked me to do it, and
Sleepwalking.
I did it, and I realized I could do this to anybody because they were like a small human.
one
Anybody.
time when I was
they're a
skinnier
they're a
in
small
high
human.
school.
They're small and puny, and I pick them up and play with them like toys.
One time when I was in high school, I was way skinnier than this because I was on the varsity basketball and softball team. Okay. I had a boyfriend be like, "Oh, I can lift you, right?" He lifted me up, and I flew behind him, and I fell.
no.
Never again. I'm afraid of falling, and so when people are like, "Oh, let me just give you a hug and lift you," I'm like, "No,
Nah, you
No.
don't do it that way. The way you do it is like I would grab you by like your inner thigh and then by your arm.
like
Fireman
military
carry.
lift."
yeah, like
right.
a fireman carry.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
just
right.
put you on my back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I would probably cry.
Just squat. I squat right to the ground.
Why don't we do it live on the podcast?
I could deadlift you, Joe.
I would cry.
I could deadlift you right now.
dude, he's so serious.
Do it.
I'm not even fucking kidding.
In
wanna do
socks?
You don't want to do
wanna
it?
Nah.
It's scary.
You want to do it?
Nah.
I could. I won't drop you.
Nah.
You'll know immediately if I could do it. If I can't do it, I can't get off the ground.
I'll back spot.
and then you'll be standing still. You'll be standing. Do you want to do it?
No.
He said no.
Don't be a pussy.
No.
You don't want to do
No.
it?
Oh,
No.
speaking
Could you
of-
deadlift me?
What?
Could you deadlift me? What's your max?
I mean, like deadlifting off the ground. I deadlift 300 pounds not so long ago. Farmer
you
carried
could,
it.
you could deadlift me then.
I can barely lift my tire using my thighs. Okay, I
I'm
can't
pretty-
use my hands.
I'm pretty sure my max got to be like 275.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know how much I can back squat though. Like I can back squat, 225. I know that for sure, but I don't know how much more I can squat than that.
Yeah. Just strongman shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go off. Okay.
Maybe I meant back squat instead of deadlift. Deadlift is what motion?
Deadlift is when you're picking it off the
you were
ground.
Like,
Oh no, back squat. I could
Yeah.
I
back
could
squat.
I could probably deadlift you and not you, but I could back squat you easy.
yeah.
Very easily, sir.
See,
Yeah.
easy.
Well,
Yeah.
you could deadlift me and not him.
Only because of his height.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm short.
You're easier to pick up.
yeah. You're right. I'm short. I'm short. I was like, wait, I don't know about that, but no. So good for you. I wish I was strong like that. Last episode, I looked at the pictures.
On the rookie? Oh.
No, I looked at your pictures of the food you guys ate, and you definitely ate more than you ate.
Oh, yeah.
That-
Wait, what?
Thank you.
That- No, you
What?
definitely ate more.
That's bullshit.
I forgot about this.
That's
All right. Let me
bullshit.
tap back into this
Oh
episode.
man, look,
I sat down and I
You
looked at it and I was like,
smashed the chicken up.
yeah.
No.
Just looking at the
'Cause
visual on the
Smashed
Because
plate.
up,
you agreed with
it
me.
still looks like more.
Lucas agreed with me.
hold on. I'm eating this dry ass
Bro,
submarino.
this is good.
Don't joke.
Okay. I seen in the pictures. All right. Yeah, yours was still chunked up though.
Yeah.
Full form.
Right.
His was smashed.
Right. So it took up more surface area this way, but I still think yours were more dense, and we needed to bust out the digi at that point to see. But I don't know. I think it looked like he might have had you.
I ate more.
The amount of food on the plate in the picture looked similar. However, he smashed all his food down to get to that size.
So yours was more dense.
Yeah, and you had heavier.
No, his was more dense.
You could take a piece of bread and smash it down in your hands and make it look this big. It doesn't mean that piece is bigger than this
That's
piece.
not how chicken works, though.
Yeah,
Like
shredded chicken.
When you shred chicken up, it takes it more dense.
He didn't cut it up.
I know he didn't cut it.
He compacted it down in his hands.
In the process of doing that,
I shredded it. I didn't compact.
No, you did. I have a video.
I'm Team Joe on this one.
I need to see the whole video.
I played the whole video.
You think if I take a chicken tender,
You take a chicken tender, I can't smash it down and then make it look smaller.
Correct.
The way I looked
You don't think
at
I can?
You have to mash it first. Like you have to significantly mash it, and you're not going to make it smaller because you're not going to make that protein more dense than it already is in the form that it already is.
Think about it this way, though. If he were to do with his leftover chicken what he did with his,
It would look
would've
smaller on
been
the
He would
plate.
have
less,
more.
right?
Then he would have more.
No.
Yes.
No. Like he had
What?
less.
Because when you shred chicken, you take up more surface area.
It does not grow when you smash it.
No shit, it doesn't grow, but it takes up more surface area, and that's what I'm saying. If he was to whether he was to comprise his back to its initial state, or you were to smash yours and mash it up, you would still have more chicken left over.
I
I
also
see what you're
feel
trying to say, but he literally like crushed his down.
And I also have something to say about that. I feel like that's
compressed it down.
I feel like that's cheating because the way you were smashing it, it looked like a lot of sauce was coming off that thing.
Oh no! That thing was lathered in sauce.
But I'm saying
I'm watching it
you're
back right
squeezing
now.
it out. You're squeezing it out, and I'm
I
like,
barely
that's
had
cheating.
any left when I was done. If you watched the whole thing, I didn't have a whole lot left. We thought that I could complete it hold on. All right, so I got your.
I have it right here.
I even commented. I said there is a clear winner here.
That's why I said we need to bust out the digi.
Yeah.
Yeah, look. And your voice said, "Oh, Joe, you lost a lot of weight. Good job, man." Yeah, your voice.
Take that in for a second.
I don't.
You even said, like, if I play the video, you even said, "Oh, you ate 2/3."
Yeah, but I think I did too.
Now you do.
I think
retrospectively.
To be fair, I never said that I ate more than you. I said I think we ate about the same.
No, for the record, I think he ate more. That's what I'm saying.
Either way, I feel like it was more impressive on my part because I don't eat spicy food.
No, it is impressive. It is impressive. You guys both did really well. I was just saying.
Neither
for
one of you completed the
argumentative
challenge.
We both
End of
failed.
story.
sake- Yeah.
Oh, and the guy, I think I have it on video. I'll have to find it where the guy said, "I think you've gotten farther than anyone else has ever gotten."
He said, I think.
Take me to this place.
It doesn't exist
Close.
anymore.
They're only open for like 10 months.
it's
And their
fucking-
food was good.
Fucking owner was a jack off.
Fables
I
and
actually like their
stories
food.
and lies.
I want some new good food places to open up near us.
If you want to do this on tape, we can do this.
Yes.
How?
I'll find the sauce. I'll make chicken,
I'm
and we'll
getting
do it.
hungry right now thinking about it.
I did not have a good experience.
And if I win, he has to eat a Little Caesar's pizza.
Listen,
Do you think that you can eat more than me? Is that what it is,
No.
though? No. Okay. Do you think you can eat hotter food than me and last longer?
Yes.
I can eat more.
I can eat
more
hotter
hot
food.
food.
yes.
So you can eat.
If we did the one chip challenge, I think I would have a better result.
He
than
said
you
he would destroy you.
I would have a better result than all of
like
you.
we could wait just to wait it out.
Yeah, like
Wait it
like we
out.
both eat the chip and then we see how we react and see if either one of us needs milk or water or ice cream.
Yeah.
How much is a one chip challenge?
Why do you continue to exclude
Not
me?
that expensive. I know.
Well, because yeah, I mean, we could all do it.
Only because it's personal.
I know it's personal. I'm gonna come and
They're
step
like
on
$10,
both
I
of
think.
y'all.
$10 per chip.
$10 a chip.
Okay, one
where's
is
it?
saying on Amazon it's saying it's $60 for one.
No,
That's probably that.
It's for a pack.
That's probably that generation of chip.
The Pocky one.
So it's Red Hot Reaper on Amazon for $16.
really.
Oh, the Red Hot Reaper one?
I think you can get them at Walgreens though, and they might be cheaper.
I think I've seen them at the gas station one time too.
I think there's more than one chip in here though.
There's probably a lot of other brands who have capitalized on it. Here, Walmart has one for $11. Oh no, it says shipping. That's weird.
Pocky.
Yeah, Jolo chip. Like, there's different brands now. It looks like.
Yeah, so we're looking for the Pocky, right?
Yeah, I believe that's like the original company.
Let me go to Amazon and I'm gonna order this right now.
You ain't even playing.
I'm not, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I've done the one chip like previous years. I haven't done the latest one.
No, I haven't done the latest one.
But I've done it, and I went 12 hours without eating or drinking anything.
Deal of the day,
Nonsense.
you guys. Deal of the day. Dollar Store has seeds for gardening this spring on sale. 4 packages for $1. Go get some seeds.
Are you a green thumb?
Start a garden.
Hello, my name is Dr. Green Thumb.
I don't want to expose what I do for work, but go garden.
You just talked about your new job.
right, where I work now. Okay.
I'm just saying, do you like to garden? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, no.
Botanist.
It's really easy to start a garden, and you just look it up. You can fold a paper towel, glue a seed in different squares, plant it. It's spread out perfectly, and paper towel is biodegradable.
I want to grow a garden out here, so we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
bet
can
you
make
do.
healthy food with it. Go be healthy. I know we
Growing
eat a lot
some
of junk food around here,
Bitches love gardens.
but bro,
Next week, there's just going to be papayas, shells all
I'm
over the
going.
ground.
Shells of papaya.
Yeah.
Bitches love
Just
smiley
husks
faces.
dried up in the corner and just little seeds.
I'm going on vacation in August, so
Yeah.
I'm not
Oregon?
gonna come back. Okay,
You going to
I'm
Oregon?
tired. I'm tired of being in Indiana. I'm tired of it. Okay,
We're all tired of it. Indiana sucks.
I barely get sun. I used to live in Hawaii, and it's so bad that I have to take 2,000 milligrams a day of vitamin D.
2,000.
2,000. My doctor's like,
Milligrams.
you're supposed to have, I think it's like at the lowest 29 or something like that. I have 4. My level is 4. And he's like,
Just 4?
just 4.
Just 4.
He said that's
Are you
really
poor son?
dangerous. Like I might have to get medically diagnosed with something, all because Indiana has so much pollution that the sun doesn't come through enough. And people who are raised here, like they're normal, so their levels are normal because this is all the sun they'll ever have.
Nah, y'all just
But
aren't
people
outside
who
enough.
have had sun and come and move here, their levels decrease, and also is why there's a huge level of depression here. And you need to get out.
I will say, from moving to Arizona, from Arizona to here, I am a lot more fair skinned now.
I've
than I
always
was
thought
in
that about
Arizona.
you. You're very fair skinned.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. He said, you got the reason to like, oh.
That's crazy. No, we have to figure out. I want to find out something that I'm going to find something that's 2.9 million Scovilles.
You want it just as hot?
I want it just as hot.
I'll do it.
What's
I'll
the
do it
one
too.
chip? How many Scovilles is that?
I don't think it's that hot. It's Carolina Reaper. We were way past
Is
that.
it?
Yeah.
No, we were Carolina Reaper, weren't we?
Yeah, but it was something crazier than that.
Crazy.
I don't know the Scovilles. It doesn't have a.
Scovilles? Skoogles?
Yeah.
Here it says this one is Carolina Reaper with Naga Viper pepper, and it's
Naga.
around 1.7 million.
No, we were at
Scoville.
2.9.
2.9.
Yeah, but
Nothing but the fucking best, okay?
Okay, but I'm glad that we're talking about doing chips because I don't like sauce like that. So I was like, when we were talking about saucy chicken, I was like, But
that's just it was just a lot of chicken. If it was unsauced, I don't even know that I could do it.
peppers.
It was
in
a lot of
general.
chicken to eat in 90 seconds.
I think we should just eat the pepper.
I'm just fucking hungry.
We should just get the pepper.
It's hard to
damn it.
chew that fast.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna find something that's that same. Let's find something that's the same level of heat.
I got some really hot
You know
chili
how we were
flakes.
talking. You know how we were talking about how you might do a competition in the summertime with everyone competing against each other. I seen a Survivor episode where it was like there was different levels of peppers, and you could attempt the challenge, but you had more to do. The less spicy you went for the pepper, and if you took the very hot pepper, it was way less of a challenge you had to do, but you had to do it while your mouth was on fire. And I feel like that'd be such a fun thing to do.
Fun. I can see that.
Yeah, like I don't
Makes
know.
sense.
I feel like because then you get the comedy of people who are like, "Oh, I'm dying," like, and I
Going
think,
through an anxiety attack while trying to stay focused.
yeah, I'm here with it.
Eat a Carolina Reaper and solve a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do it without
Neither could
that.
I. I don't know how to do it either.
My 8-year-old knows how to do that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he does. He'll be like, here, mix it up. And then like, dude, 2 minutes later.
I had a buddy in high school who was the same. He like got deep into it, figuring out how to do it.
And he's like, dude, it's just algorithms.
Dude, I was going to say that's all it is. It's a simple algorithm. It's like 7 steps.
Yeah,
If you memorize the 7 steps, you can literally solve the thing. That's all it is. It's 7
Right,
steps.
but I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and memorize. He's like, dude, it's just algorithm. I'm like,
It is. It's real simple.
But you still have to memorize it. Like,
But
I don't want to.
You had to memorize tying your shoe. You had to memorize taking a shit. Like, I mean, that's all it is memorization, man.
I'm just saying. I was just like, I don't.
It's impressive because a lot of people, I think, are just, you know, that's how I'm about it too. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about memorizing it. But yeah, you memorized it. Like I said, 7 steps. You can figure out any combination that you throw on it.
Did we talk about Flight Risk yet? I want to go watch that in theaters too. It's the one with. I can't think of his name, but the really famous guy.
Oh yeah.
The famous
Tom Hanks.
guy.
Next, let's throw it on next week.
Yeah,
Nick
I
Jonas.
think I'm gonna. I want to watch it, so that's something I'm thinking about too.
Top flight
security of the world.
security of the
It's
world.
Mark Wahlberg, and it has terrible ratings.
Yeah.
That really famous guy, Marky Mark.
You know what we should start doing too? I'm thinking that we should start guessing Rotten Tomato scores. We don't look it up, and if we get it correct, then we have to
Eat a spiced pepper.
We have to do something. And if we get it wrong, then it's like worse, and we have to like answer like top 10 like worst secrets or something like that. Could be like an entertaining segment or something.
Do I need to bring these hot chili flakes? Because I wasn't bullshitting about these chili flakes.
I love spicy stuff.
Bring that shit next week. Bring that shit next week.
Yeah, so we
serious
can put
shit.
it on our
Let's
Little
figure it out.
Caesars that he's gonna try,
dude,
right?
It's from
I've had
this,
Little Caesars.
It's
No,
from
the
this Puerto
cups.
Rican lady.
Oh, I haven't had that yet.
I used to work for her and do things like around the house and stuff, right? And she came through one day. I got these all from Puerto Rico. They were like the Carolinas. It's a Ghost. There's another habanero, and there's one more that's in there. I think the cherry. But like all 3 of them are in there, and they're all dehydrated and combined. Like the crushed red pepper flakes you get, you know, they're like that, but they're hot as shit.
What do you put them on, like pizza?
Fuck yeah,
Hell yeah.
pizza for sure. That's the best thing.
I just re-upped on my Pepto-Bismol, so. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like always, subscribe. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever you can find a podcast. Thank my lovely co-host here. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything you guys do. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you. It was a vibe. It was real. This is the panel. They call me Swill. Joe sucks. See you guys later.
Get up, get out, go do something positive for yourselves in the meantime.